own your decisions. People will always tell you what to do, and how to live. So let's create space for what matters most to you. You'll be glad you did. Now start claiming your time and your mental well-being by saying no more. No more. Say it loudly and proudly. In other words, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Target acquired.
Eagle 1, first strike. You have permission to engage the target.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Pardon me. A little hoarse today. Welcome in, everyone. Glad everybody made it. We're going to get right into it and see who's in the chat tonight. Looks like, pardon me. Wow, I have really lost my voice all of a sudden. Well, looks like Agrillipus was first in the chat, followed by Damien, our parkour guy. If you haven't seen his channel, you need to go watch it. It's really good. Critical Lens, Ben is in the house. Good to see you. Ghost 1978 made it in. Never Lucky Rubber Ducky made it in. That's awesome. It's cool. Viking Paradigm is in the house. I hope still. He's a cool dude. Uncle Guns is in the house. Stacy is in the house. Good talking to you already. I see Leah in the house. And some other Nunya business. Thought the intro was too long. I think it's perfect. And yeah, Ducky's back in the house. We have two Duckies. That's cool. That's cool. Let me take a break here. My throat is killing me. Man, hopefully that it gets me through the night. We'll see. All right. Yeah. So, Uncle Guns, if Trippy's still alive when we get done tonight, in about 2.5, 3 hours, I'm going to raid him over. I'm going to raid over into his channel. He needs more subs, and he needs, yeah, he's got some stuff going on. So he's got to get some more people over there. We need to get the likes pumped up, guys. The likes are important. Don't ask for much, but I do like likes. So hit that button, make it happen. Duck, we're going to raid over into, if he's still going when we're finished, we're going to raid over into Trippy Cast, because why not? He's cool, and we'll see what's going on. Smoking Spaceman is in the house. Super cool dude that he is. I know some of you guys thought I was leaving earlier this week for my vacation. However, it doesn't start. I don't leave until Friday morning, but tomorrow is like super busy. I've got a lot going on. We're trying to buy these businesses and companies, and I've never in my life tried so hard to spend a little bit of money ever. It's crazy. We're, on the one business, we're 90 days out from being able to, at best, we're 90 days out. Like I just guarantee you, we're gonna probably, this will be a year-long process if we get this deal done, and it's looking like it could come apart. We're in it about the 6-month mark right now, 6 or 7 months, and this the deal still could come apart. So well, it is, well, it's the bigger of the deals. What's up, Emmett, Eric R. Oak? Yeah, it's the bigger of the deals. So I have I've had a bunch of deals, kind of going on. We were trying to buy originally. We were trying to buy an HV. Well, originally we've been trying to buy this glass company, and it's it's weird. They want to sell it. They waited until the first of the year to get their valuation, which they had a particularly good year. Now but the problem is they waited so long that the rules changed for the SBA, for the type of SBA loan that we're going to use. And that's not good for them. It's good for us, not good for them. They don't really want to deal with it. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see how this shakes out. And it's probably going to be a year of wasted time and about $30,000 in attorney's fees, going back and forth on this stuff. That's what I'm feeling right now. Like, I don't know that this deal will get done. If it gets done, it'll be great for me. It's a good cash flow. Good. It's a good business to build into other businesses. But at any rate, so that's one we've been working on the longest. That was kind of the first target when I decided I was going to go back in the business. And then we lost out. The second company I really wanted to buy was a floor coating company, epoxy floor coating. They're the epoxy floor coating company. I made a mistake and told that guy how I would fix his business, and he went out and found he went and begged his father-in-law for some money, bought his partner out, and now he's trying to make a go of it. And so that I kind of screwed myself out of that deal. And that deal was, we were probably 30 or 40 days away from having that deal done, and kind of hosed myself on that one. The only other deal we've looked at a bunch of HVAC companies. I don't know. The one that I really wanted got bought. The deal got done before we could get into it. Then I had this machining company that we were going to buy, and we were really close to closing on that. Just the rent changed. The building that they were in, they didn't own the building. The building got sold. Because the building got sold, it went from being a good deal with minimal profit to being crappy deal with no profit possible until we moved, and that was just going to be too much trouble. And then the owner decided he wasn't even going to sell it. He shut it down. Like, he's actually reduced size. So that and now we're looking at a body shop. I like body shops. I've said that many times. Yeah, that's the one that closed down. We were right there, dude. We were ready to sign papers, write checks. Everything was golden. And then the building got sold, and overnight everything changed. In about 3 weeks, that deal evaporated. Just went, and that's I know what that's what happens. You think that you've got something done, but it's never done until it's like completely done. And even then, things get unwound. We're looking at this body shop where this employee bought the body shop from an aging owner, and he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to run it. He doesn't know how to make money at it. All he's doing is losing money. And, he's in a really bad spot. I went out and looked at it yesterday. It's really good. He basically, he's losing $2,000 a month, which is insane in a body shop. I don't know how you do that. But I think we're going to be able to restructure the deal. We're going to take over, and that deal is probably going to get done. And that deal could happen in 30 to 45 days. That, if we've got a couple of small things, that, we can, there's a couple of small points that need to be negotiated out, but other than that, I think we're pretty close. And that'll be good. I'll turn that from they're doing about, last year, I think they did about maybe 800 grand in business. This year, it looks like they're on track to do about a million in business. And I think without really trying hard, I can get them to 1.5 or $2 million in revenue a year. That'll be good. And that'll put about, I don't know, I'll put some money in my pocket. But this one business, man, it's a 3 I think right now where it's sitting is 3.6 is what it is, all totaled. And the 3.6, I've never tried so hard in my life to spend $3 million. I've never in my life tried so hard to spend it, and no, it just can't get done. It's the stupidest thing ever. Like, we're just trying to get the deal done, and now it's crazy. It's crazy, man. We're just trying to get the deal done, Now, so the way the financing has to work, since they waited so fucking long and they changed the price and all that, they wanted more money, right? They wanted more money out of the deal, so they waited until the first of the year. Well, first of the year, new SBA rules went into place. The problem is that now they require the seller to hold a seller's note, or they won't issue the loan. They knew that and were okay with it. Previously, we could start paying that loan back 2 years into the deal, right? So basically, we're paying our normal loan. We're paying. We're going to have a mortgage on the property as well, so we'll pay all that, and then we would, in year 2, we would start paying the seller's loan back. And that's the way it used to be. Now it's not that way. So now unfortunately for them, they waited too long, and the new rule kicked in. Now they can't get paid on their seller note until everything is paid back. All of it. Okay. So that means that's a 10-year note on the SBA loan. So when you get they screwed themselves, right? So like, well, how much? They're like, how much interest are we going to pay them on that? And we said, well, we'll give you 7% interest on it. They came back today with, hey, we can make 10%. We feel like we can make 10% by investing the same money in an index and just letting it grow over 10 years. Well, yeah, sure, but you're not going to get $2 million for your fucking business, asshole. What's up, Gorilla Biscuits? How are you? It looks like Jeremiah Johnson in a different shirt. ZD Dim, welcome into the show. Good to see you. Good to see you. I mean, it's really interesting, right? Like it's just a weird deal, right? Like, we're trying to give them money. We're trying to make a deal that's fair to everyone. And at the end of the day, it's going to come down to, I guarantee you this 200 grand is going to tank the whole fucking deal. So it's going to tank the whole fucking deal. It just is. And, that's just how that works out. Now we did tell them that we would we were willing to do a handshake deal. And I don't know that we've really gotten into the nuts and bolts of that. We're willing to do a handshake deal where we give them, in year 2 or year 3, we just simply we simply start paying them back outside of the loan. And then that takes care of their seller note. And we're willing to do that. But unfortunately, the SBA is not going to approve the loan under the terms that they're going to want without that seller note. And the seller note has to be there for the entire 10 years. So they're fucked. They fucked themselves. They waited. They wanted more money, and now they're going to get more money. They want they wanted almost 3 million. They want we talked them back. We backed them off until 2.6 for the business. 2.6 for the business, 1 million for the real estate. So is what the deal is. So, but Can't do anything about it, man. Can't do anything about it. And you know, and this is driving me fucking crazy, man. Like I just want to get the deal done. Like, I just want to get the deal done. You know, we're trying to give you money, bro. You know, and everybody's making it hard right now. Everybody's making it hard. I'm like, the funny thing is I found another business today. Well, my wife did. My wife found another business today. Similar numbers. They're not as profitable because I don't think they're run as well. But we'll just fucking buy them. I don't give a shit. I don't care who I buy, right? Like, and I'll probably sell. Yeah, we'll probably be able to buy it for a $500,000 less. Whatever. Yeah, some people do want the pain DIY for sure, for sure. You know, I'm just telling you. You know, the thing is that look, this is all money. This is all money, and mostly it's not even real money. It's like, you know, we're taking over because I know I can run the business as like in the case of the successful business, I know I can run it as well as he can, and I can improve it down the road. The guy just wants to retire. In the other case, I ran a body. I literally the body shop that I'm looking at buying, that it's almost identical to the one I took over before, and I turned it into it was losing, and it was a loser.
Mr. Boulay and the Department of Numismatics donated $10 super chat. Hope everyone fared well through the storms. Okay here. Thankfully the worst we got was pea-size hail for a few minutes. Thoughts and prayers to all who were affected.
Flawless, Mr. Boulay. Flawless, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for the $10. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I've never worked so hard to give somebody else money, and it's not even real money. It's just like, you know, lines on a paper at this point. Hey, Kevin, what's up, buddy, man? I meant to give you a call. I got swamped this afternoon, man. And I didn't call my glass guys either. So I'll take care of that in the morning, I hope. So, but yeah, I've never in my life tried to give somebody money. Tried so hard to give somebody money and then just they don't care. Yeah, I don't know that I'm sick, but I've been all of a sudden my voice was really raspy. So we'll make it work. So yeah. So anyway, you know, that's what my week has been. My week has been giving giving a lot of time to trying to make these different businesses work, and it's really a lot of for me, it's a lot of labor on the front end. For my wife, it's a lot of labor on the front end, and then once we take it over, then we just train people, and then it's less actual work for me. But it's it's just a lot of pain right now. It's just a lot of pain, you know. So, but it's one of those things, man, where and it sounds like, you know, I'm not pulling $3 million out of my bank account to do this, right? Like this is, you know, these are structured loans, they're letters of credit, all of these kind of things that allow us to do business in this way, where I'm protected, they're protected, everybody gets money at some point. And basically we're just trying to say realistically what we're trying to do with the glass company is we're trying to keep it from going under and away forever. If we don't buy it within 3 years, the guy that owns it he's an older gentleman and he wants to retire. If it doesn't sell within the next year or 2 years, in year 3, I promise you he's just going to shut it down and he's going to sell the real estate and he's going to fuck off to Tahiti or some shit. I guarantee that's what he's going to do. And so we're trying to save this, right? Like there's a lot of businesses out there, ladies and gentlemen, that are great fucking businesses. But the owners are their worst enemies when it comes to selling the business or doing anything with the business. They're the worst. They're their own worst enemies. And for a lot of people, they don't even know how to buy a business. Like, they don't even know the first thing. And I'm learning every day. I learn every single day. You know, like I didn't realize until I read just the other day that, well, actually, I take that back. The SBA broker that we're using told us that, you know, that there was a potential that this rule was going to take effect. I didn't realize it had already taken effect. I thought that it went into effect 1 January, but it wasn't actually going to affect the loans until later this year, like third or fourth quarter. So I thought we had some time. No. Mm-mm. So you're always learning, right? So ZDDN, no, it is commercial glass. It's called a glazing company, and they do mostly windows and doors in commercial buildings. That's like 80% of their work, 90% of their work is new doors in, new construction or refits for commercial buildings, schools, hospitals, that kind of thing. All kinds of doors, churches, a lot of churches. So it's, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, the company. So this is how this breaks out, right? So you have a company that makes $5 million a year, roughly $4.5–5 million a year, and that sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but it's grand scheme of the thing. Yeah, they do bulletproof glass as well, and sometimes, yeah, absolutely. Mostly, what they do are glass systems that do the for like sealed windows for government buildings, that kind of thing. Where am I vacationing? I'm going to vacation in. I'm going on an Alaskan cruise. Just gonna go find some whales and stuff. You know, I wanted it too, man. I really wanted the welding company. It was such a great deal for me. It was going to be such a good, and it was really going to be a good. I think it was going to be a good earner, right? Like it needed some things. It needed to be modernized. It hadn't changed in like 20 years, man. You know, it just needed some work, needed some energy and interjected into it, and some new product lines and things like that. But it just wasn't going to, you know, the guy, like I said, the owner just wants to retire. And look, guys, there's a ton of these businesses out there that where the owner just wants to retire. These guys have been in business, the same business 20, 30, 40 years. And, you know, if you ever thought about running a business, learn how business works and go buy a business, you know? Right, DIY. It's not so much they failed to plan for the exit. Usually they plan to exit, and then what happens is they don't take their exit because they're still making money, or maybe like this guy. This guy was the guy with the glass company. He was going to retire 10 years ago when he was, you know, maybe, I don't know, 54, 55, whatever the fuck it was. He was going to retire. He gets a divorce. Can't retire. Now he resets the clock. Takes him 10 years to build the business back up, to pay off his ex-wife, to pay off all of these other things. It took 10 years to make it happen, and now he's 10 years older, and now he's trying to retire. The problem is now the market has changed, and you know, obviously it's better for him financially because he's going to make more money selling now than he would have 10 years ago. But it's also worse for him because the pool of people who are going to purchase this business is just small. It's small, and you can't get away from it. So we're going to, but yeah, we're trying. I want to buy a business a year, maybe 2 businesses a year from now on. From now until the day I cease to draw breath, I think we're going to do that. That or I truly retire. Mainly because you guys don't realize what a shambles the country's businesses are in right now. You really don't. Like, you may think you do, but you don't. You know, and it's going to take a lot of young people, and by young I mean, you know, mid-20s to early 40s. It's going to take a lot of young people educating themselves about how to do business and stepping up and buying these businesses, and making good deals and learning how to make good deals. So it's you know, it's just you just gotta, as you just won't believe it. I mean, I'm just telling you. Owning things is for boomers. Yeah, I guess so. I'm not a boomer though. I'm X, bro. I'm X. Yeah. Greg Sparks, I haven't seen you here before. You're tired of people trying to take what little you do have. Well, you know, unfortunately, it's got to be careful these days. People will take your shit. That's for sure. Yeah, can actually be way worse. I've been to the countries where it's way worse. So going to one right now. I'm actually going to go. I'm actually flying into Vancouver to get on my boat, ship, whatever the fuck it is, and then I'm fucking off out of Canada land. You know, you guys can have it. I'm not really sure, Greg Sparks, what you're trying to say there, but having to trespass your own kids is rough, man. Oh, retired twice, once mill, once still. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's tough, man. You can't buy. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. The interesting thing, guys, is that the weird thing is that there are people who think that they can't do it, but anybody can do what I'm doing right now. I'm not saying it's easy, and you got to have some, you know, you got to want to do it, but most people can do it. Yeah. With the PTS.
Mr. Bulle and the Department of Numismatics donated $10. Super chat. The Love Boat. Exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you.
Thank you, Mr. Boulay. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I'm yeah. Yeah, that was a 7 piece. But not anybody can own a business. You have to have a very specific mindset that most folks don't have. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's true. I used to think it was mindset, but I've met a lot of dumbass business owners, so I think it's more, yeah. It's a proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. It's 7 P's, not 5. Yeah. Yeah, ZD Den, I don't blame you. I don't know that. I mean, well, if you, yeah. Well, at any rate, guys, look, it's going to be really interesting tonight. It's going to be a good show. Kind of wanted to lead off with why. First of all, there will be no shows tomorrow. So I had planned on being doing my daytime show tomorrow, and I had also planned on being on a debate panel tomorrow and kicking soy pills, but along with some other leftists. However, I can't do it. I've got too much going on before I leave, and I'm not gonna be able to make it. I was hoping that Glenn Lawrence would make it on tonight. He's just been really busy, guys. We all know that we all know what he's going through. If you don't know what he's going through, very quickly, RP Thor, Glenn's mentor, passed away just the other evening. And Glenn has been attending to Thor for some time, and he is, he's going through a rough time. He's got a lot of stuff going on right now. A lot of things need taken care of. So I was hoping to get him on tonight. Maybe he'll still make it. Maybe he won't. It's fine either way. Mods, the link is in the mod chat. In a few minutes, I'll open it up. We can maybe get a little bit of a panel going. I don't know how long I can really stay tonight, guys. I have a long day tomorrow, wrapping up preparations for because I leave Friday morning. I'll be gone for a solid week. There will not be a debate show on Saturday night, this Saturday or next Saturday. I won't be back. I won't be able to do it. So I apologize in advance. There will not be a debate show. I had actually thought about, since Tiki Tack and Michelle have the keys, I had thought about maybe letting them try and run the show without me. However, I don't want to put that burden on them. And I always have a real hard time asking for help anyway. So, so we're just going to miss a couple weeks. When it comes back, no streams until the 1st. Now, when I come back, I will be. When I come back, I will be doing the debate stream on Friday night. I understand that's going to upset some people. I understand where we're going to go with that. I understand the war that is in front of me. And I'm ready for the fight. If it depends, I hope everything goes smoothly. But I'm ready. We can make it happen. It is what it is. ZD Den, I'm in that same boat. I had talked to RP Thor at length several times. He was on the show a couple of times. And he and I did not always agree on everything, but I think maybe, I helped him see things from in a different perspective. And he's, we were not friends. I'm okay, but I really, I feel for Glenn. Glenn is my friend, and I'm trying to support Glenn as much as I can, and so. Again, I really wish that I wish Glenn had come on. I hope he does come on before the end of the show, and so we can show him some support, and he can have a good time, take a load off for a few minutes, and we all know how this goes, right? We all know that when you lose somebody, sometimes what you really need is to be around some people and just take a few minutes to not think about it. Good evening, John Mosman. How the hell are you, sir? It's been a minute since you've been in. So, yeah. But any of you guys looking for the debate fight show, whatever? Glenn lost his mentor, RP Thor. RP Thor. Mr. Boulay, I need to help you with your show. You need to get your show back together, and we need to get you squared away, man. We really do. Anybody that would like to come up, I'm done monologuing and whining and bitching about how tough my life is. So please feel free to come up, enjoy. You'll have to obviously reach out to the mods over in the Discord. The way that you come up on the show, I say this every time. Somebody always goofs it up. It's okay. We're used to it. Go to my Discord. There's a room called the waiting room. You go in there, you say, hey, mods, I want a link, and they will DM you a link so that you can come up. You click the link, check your settings, especially sound, and then come on up. Anson, you should come up. You should come up and hang out with me. But yeah, it's it's a good time. It's been just so busy lately. I'm really, really tired. But that's okay. It's fine. Anson Knowles, I believe that's been covered, but I don't know. You got the kids tonight? Good for them. Good for them. Everybody should be a little warped in Anson's image. Not too warped. A little bit. A little bit. Yeah, it's been a good few days. It has. So you're drinking coffee, and I should too. I've got Black Rifle coffee stuff. So be all right. Good times tonight. I look tired, man. I've been burning the candle at all the ends. Your son is more intelligent version of you. Wow, how unexpected. He will own the world one day. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Nothing like a good young Southern gentleman to own the world again. Perfect. What's up, Michelle? How are you? Come on up. You can come on up too. Come on up. Everybody come on. Not everybody. We need an audience. How are you, Michelle? I hope Michelle is doing well. She's been through a lot with Glenn as well. Glenn is he's been going through it. What is the difference between Israelites and Israelis? That's a good question, Brian or Ilana. I don't know. It's good. Good idea. I need that grenade mug. I really do. I've actually been looking for one. Is it back in their catalog? Because it was out of stock for like ever. Anson Knowles, I could see you arranging your daughter's marriage. 100%. Yeah, what Anson say his son's better. Yeah, okay. I agree with that. That's true, Greg Sparts. I think that's accurate, actually. I saw something the other day, speaking of eggs. Give me a second. Pardon me. Pardon me, folks. I had to sneeze. I saw something the other day that I hadn't seen in a while. It was a stand on the side of the road outside somebody's property. I mean, it's on somebody's property, but it was outside. It said eggs. Honor system, and like $4 for a dozen, I guess. And they had the eggs sitting there. I thought that was pretty awesome. What is up, Emmett?
What's up? How are you doing, Green?
I'm good.
You're gonna be gone for a couple of days, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone for almost a week. Yeah, I'm gonna be. I fly out to Vancouver. I'm gonna spend the night in Vancouver, some fucking where, I don't know. I don't remember what the hotel is. And then we're gonna get on a boat, and we're gonna go on the boat to Alaska, do some like whale watching, and I don't know, whatever we do on Alaskan cruise. I haven't been to Alaska before. I want to go.
Okay, sounds fun.
So, yeah, it does. It does actually sound fun. So I can't wait to go to Alaska, and then and then I drive, or I think we just like cruise up the coast, stop at a few places, and then we get off in like Anchorage or somewhere and then fly back. I'm not really sure how it works out, but I'm not even sure I've got a flight back, to be honest. I honestly was about to, I had thought about flying from Alaska to LA and then stopping in and doing whatever. But the problem is I'm not really sure if the timeline will work. So we'll find out.
Do you have any plans in LA or just
I'm sorry?
by? You have any plans in LA? Like, you have any?
No.
in LA?
It was just one of those things where I told Brian I was going to probably be in LA, a couple of times this summer. And one of the times was that the original flight that I had scheduled for this was for me to fly from Anchorage or wherever the hell it is, Juneau, maybe, I don't know, wherever the fuck we're going to end up in Alaska, to fly to LA first, and then from LA back to Nashville. And so I told my wife, I'm like, well, we could spend the night, and I could do whatever. If we fly back Saturday night, then Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, I could go and do what I could drive down to Santa Barbara and do whatever. And but I'm not really sure the timeline works now, because I'm not really sure. The problem with a cruise is that they try and stay on schedule, but the weather can interfere. There's a lot of different things that can have. There's a lot of issues that can go on. So plus the flight itself can be delayed. So it's hard to make that decision. But it's still possible. The potential is still there.
I would like to see you on whatever. That would be really cool, and I think that would be
yeah. I'm actually kind of I'm trying to think about it. But if I don't, so the thing is we may not be able to do it, because we may not even fly out till midday Sunday. So then I would
the schedule just doesn't work.
Yeah, if the schedule doesn't work, we'll fly to like LA or Denver or wherever, whatever makes sense, and then fly on to Nashville. And then I'll probably be back out in LA sometime this summer. I have some business that I'm going to end up having to, I think I'm going to have to go there to finish some business, but it's not a big deal. And I'm trying to make it work out so that I can be there over the weekend, so I can do whatever.
Yeah.
Because I hate California, and there has to be like a reason for me to go there. Like,
is it because of the taxes, or why do you hate it so much?
It's just the wokeness, just the funk, just the malaise of the citizens. I just don't like California. I think California, if California fell in the ocean, I would be like super fucking happy. Yeah. So it's good. But yeah, so unfortunately you won't be able to practice your mad debate skills this week. You'll have to go somewhere else to do so.
That's fine. I like going into your show.
I need to. Beth dropped off the face of the earth. I need to send her money for winning.
She's been busy. Well, no, she was with Anson on Monday.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She's not. Yeah, yesterday she didn't connect anywhere that I know of, and today she's been gone too.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to Alaska for a few days, we're going to cruise. I think really, and it's one of those things where I'm not really sure what the reality is of an Alaskan cruise, but we'll find out. I've heard they're really cool, but I mean, it's freaking Alaska, man. It's going to be like, it's probably going to rain, So, who knows? Angel Berber said that it is a garbage state here in California. No way around that. Yeah, it's unfortunate because I lived at Lake Tahoe for a while, and I really liked Lake Tahoe back in like 98, 99 when I was there. But I went, of course, I was back. I lived in the Bay Area in 2014, and it was just so bad. It was so terrible. It's just horrible. So bad.
It is bad.
So where are you at, Emmett? Are you in, I mean, I'm sure you're in the U.S., but are you like in Texas or Guatemala?
No, I'm in Guatemala. U.S. Guatemala.
Yeah.
No,
Whatever.
I'm near Salt Lake.
Oh, okay.
An hour away.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Mormon land.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I've been through Salt Lake quite a bit.
If you ever
Actually,
come
do a lot
by,
of. I used to do a lot of shooting in St. George, Utah.
oh, but that's almost Arizona. Well, it's in the south. It's like
Yeah, that's south
hours
of yeah. It's like an hour north of Vegas. So it's
Yeah,
fucking cool place.
it's 5 hours away from where I am. It's a good
5
place.
hours.
Yeah. If you go by car, it's like 5 hours. If
Yeah.
it's 6 hours. We're 6 hours from Las Vegas.
Yeah, I had the coolest day today. So I had to go to the Airbnb that I have and just check it out and drop off some stuff and whatever. Got up early, went and did that. And on the way back, I stopped by a friend of mine's place because I'm helping him with his airplane, getting the engine tuned and running on engine management. And it was actually really cool for that thing to fire up. I mean, because remember when I came into this deal, it like didn't run, right? Like I had to help him rebuild the entire wiring harness. I had to tune it. I had to do, get the initial tune and all of that. And it was a battle to get this thing running. But now, you just hit the button, it starts right up, idles, everything's great. And today was like the first time he did like a pretty good run up to, I think he went to like 5,000 or 5,500 RPM. And it was cool, man. It was just like, it was killer. Now I want to finish mine because I have the same style of motor. For Are We Not Minions, this is a Renesis RX-8 motor, 6-port that is hanging off the front of this airplane. And but it's been cool, man. It's just been awesome to be a part of the project. So, and then he told me he's going to be out of town next week because he bought another airplane. Because everybody thinks I have a lot of airplanes, but I have friends that have like real airplane problems. And he just bought another one that had what they call a gear up, and it landed on its belly, so it needs the bottom of the airplane rescanned, and it needs a prop, and it may need an engine overhaul. So
How are you doing with your train problems? Are you getting there?
Oh, the train? I have not found. I have not found a train to buy. But the licensing and I have looked into the licensing and everything. Like it's not that it's not like unrealistic to own your own train if you have just a little tiny bit of money. Like it's not like you don't have to be Vanderbilt or Rockefeller to have your own train. So that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's cool. That sounds really cool.
Problem is like, getting, use of the rails and, scheduling and all. It's more like bureaucracy than anything else.
I think you will probably have to talk to the different people involved and
Oh yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Pay some licenses and yeah.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be more bureaucracy than anything of just like, well, I want to go from here to Salt Lake City, right? And I can do that. The rails connect and everything, but you have to like file like use of track when you're going to be on the track because you don't want to get run over by another train. That would suck.
Yeah, it's true.
That would suck.
That is true.
So, But yeah. First world problems, brother. First world problems.
I'll get there someday.
I know you will. I have faith in you.
I'll be like having.
You're not going to do a train though. You probably, you seem to me like you're more of a limo guy.
A limo guy. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love a limo.
Yeah, I feel like you're a limo guy.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So are you gonna miss out? You're gonna feel all left out. No debate show this week.
Well, I don't like going on Speakeasy. I've never done it, and I don't plan to, being honest. And it has nothing to do with Speakeasy. Like I like him and I enjoy his shows, but every time I see his debate show, I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain why. Also there's Corinth is there, and I hate that guy.
You don't like Corinth?
No, I hate Corinth.
Corinth is like my favorite leftist.
He well, the problem is I got into Niche and Corinth both. I got into the server and I started like debating a little bit, and they were ruthless.
Who's the other one?
Niche, the Australian.
Oh, I haven't met Nish.
So I don't mind. They're pretty good. They're pretty good debaters, and they know a lot.
Yeah,
they can be very they can be kind of ruthless in the Discord chat, and we just don't.
Corinth. So Corinth has always been like really good faith until the until this Carmelo Anthony thing, and then he's kind of like he's really, I don't know what the right word is, but it's not as good faith as it used to be.
Well, I don't know what his argument is for Carmelo Anthony. I saw it's all hearsay, mostly. I've seen a little bit of it, and for what I gather, it seems that the guy just killed him. Like it's pretty much murder. But I need, what I said and what I've been saying is I don't know yet. I need to actually get more information during the trial so that I can give a proper opinion. For what is being said. It seems like a very like a case of murder, and I think it's a little bit unacceptable due to the circumstances. I don't know. It's you remember, I don't know if you remember this. There's a very old debate between Destiny and Vosh when the Rittenhouse thing happened.
When the what?
When Rittenhouse happened.
Oh, yeah.
And Vosh decided to use pretty much the Carmelo Anthony the situation for Carmelo Anthony against Rittenhouse. So it's like, well, what would you do if it was in a school? And what would you do if it was in this and this? And even Destiny had to like say that it was a different thing, and that the venue and the situation was kind of important, and that he would take that into account. So I don't know. The leftists can do like gymnast tricks with their minds sometimes to get their narrative going.
Yeah, it's interesting because Destiny actually seemed to back Rittenhouse after a while, whereas Pisco and Vaush both kind of, they just like stood they just stood on the shakiest ground possible and trying to find a problem with the way he did what he did.
Well, Vosh has always been optics. He said it himself. He's like, oh, this is like good for the right, so I hate it. That was pretty much his whole point of why he was like against Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Pisco, on the other hand, Pisco is just he's just bad faith. I don't know.
Well, I got Pisco the other night. I was so happy I was able to catch that. William Joseph, Destiny basically said reload and keep firing until they stop attacking. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what he did say. And Vaush and Pisco, both lost their fucking minds when Destiny said that, which is weird but true. And as the interesting thing is that
Well, he said that in most settings, but when they were talking about when Vosh decided to say, well, what if he was at a school? Destiny said that he, due to the venue, that he thought it was kind of a different set
Yeah.
of morals. Like the way that you would act in a school is different than the way you would act in the middle of the street at night during riots.
Yeah. So the interesting thing that I find is like I was on the Tomatoes last week, I think, with Pisco.
Mhm.
And I had Pisco about to lose his mind because I kept asking him to prove his lawyer shit. And he just wants to be accepted at, what he says accepted as fact. I'm like, but no, you're gonna have to explain that to me. No, you're gonna have to explain that to me. No, I don't think that's how that works. Can you explain that to me? And it was fun. It was really funny that he lost his mind. If I have to explain something to somebody, I just slow down and use big words, right? Or use small
Yeah.
words, either way. But dude,
The
I honestly thought Pisco was going to lose his mind and start yelling. I mean, he kind of did yell at me, but I thought he was going to like fucking spaz out.
I don't know how Rob Nor does it. I don't know. The fact that he can spend 5 hours debating a word with Pisco it's beyond.
Yeah,
me.
but Rob knows how to work Pisco and keep him on the edge of not fucking over everything. Yeah.
Well, did you see the jurisdiction debate?
Sorry,
Did you see the jurisdiction debate?
I did not.
Rob said. Rob Rob says that the court didn't have jurisdiction to adjudicate the case. And Pisco says, no, they have jurisdiction, but it was improper venue. And they had to go to like 5 different documents. And in most of the documents, they say that they don't have geographic jurisdiction, and thus they cannot adjudicate the case. But Pisco was so pedantic about it. It was like, oh no, they do have jurisdiction to adjudicate those kinds of cases when the state decides to like give them permission to do it. And Rob is like, yeah, but in this case they don't have permission, and here it says that they don't have geographical jurisdiction, so they cannot provide venue or anything. No, it's just improper venue. It has nothing to do with jurisdiction.
Yeah. Well, this is what Pisco does, right? He's an attorney, and and so and when you argue with him about things that he understands, you're gonna it's really hard to win. So what you always have to do, especially when he just starts rapid firing bullshit like he did when I came up on the panel, right? And and I'm like, and I bought the panel out, so it was just me, Pisco, Wick, and the 2 conservative dudes. And I just kept asking Pisco, hey, stop trying to run away with this. Just define what you're trying to, because you said this thing, but that's not what that thing means. So explain to me how you're making this thing that doesn't mean what you're saying mean what you're saying, right? Like can you, and he was about to lose his fucking mind.
I saw that.
What was interesting is there were so many people in the chat that were like, the non-lawyer asking the lawyer to explain what the lawyer is saying. And I'm like, yeah, because lawyers double speak and they talk out of both sides of their mouth and their ass all at the same time. So you're stupid if you don't say, no, wait, what do you mean by that? Because, and they will get really frustrated because what you're doing is you're working them into the box. And once you have them into the box, then they can't run anymore. And lawyers hate to not be able to run. And never lucky rubber ducky is correct here. It was the same thing I was talking about right now, to the point we couldn't even go off on a definition of a word that is widely used. They use the giant semantics and just derail conversation. That's what lawyers do. And they will throw out a term and use it in a non-standard way and then that forces you to make them define it. And then if you're not careful, they'll define it in a way that benefits them and not you. So you always have to just stop and say, no, what do you mean? What are you saying? That doesn't mean that. That's not what happened. You know, you really got to be able to push them around a little bit. So,
Yeah.
Mr. E got butthurt after he insulted my semantics argument and he muted me. That's interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah. But I mean, so Pisco, you know,
where did he got butthurt?
Sorry.
He says I left after Mr. E got butthurt. What's he talking about?
I don't know. I wasn't there to watch it. I didn't see the debate itself. So the interesting thing is that I came in cold because I did my show, and then I went over there. And so I didn't hear any of the debate except for the last little bit where it was so ridiculous. Like the conservatives were just kind of, I don't even know how they call themselves conservatives, but whatever. That Patriot or whatever the fuck he calls himself is like.
Oh yeah, I remember the debate now.
You know, he's just kind of fucking weird. And then the other guy, you know, he's like, he calls himself a conservative, but I don't know. I kind of feel he's like more libertarian, but I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of libertarian, like adjacent people in the conservative movement. It's fine. Most of the time, it's fine.
Wick basically was just there to ride Pisco's coattails.
So he was doing what he does best.
Yeah, he does exactly what he does best. And believe in yourself, you're correct. Much like the way many people attempt to use emotional energy instead of logic. So let's talk about this debate the other night. Did you watch the debate, if you want to call it that, between Kat and Cooley and Diddley and whatever the fuck his name was? Did you watch that?
I saw parts of it, not all of it. So parts.
Yeah.
I saw. I was watching it yesterday with Jess, but sometimes
Jess
White.
Oh yeah.
But it got a little bit. I got a little bit annoyed after a while.
Yeah, I bought the panel out again, so it was just me and Diddley, and the thing is that the arguments that Cooley was trying to make to Diddley are the same arguments that Andrew Wilson and Rachel Wilson used against her, and she was already prepared for those. And so she just kept doing the same thing she always does, which is just talk about her. Yeah. And so when I started talking to her, I'm like, yeah, I understand your life is perfect. Everything's great for you. But won't you agree? I was soft. Thank you, Leah. You were right. I was soft, but I wasn't really debating her either. I just wanted to give an example of the type of arguments that you are going to have to use against Diddley or someone like Diddley, because all they're going to do is say, well, my life is great. My life is perfect. I don't do full nudity. I don't do this. I just do ASMR or whatever the fuck she does. Fine. Great. That's you, Diddley. But isn't it the truth that it's harmful, and we can prove it, and we know it's harmful because of X, Y, and Z. And then she had to admit that each and every step. And if Cooley had just got off his red pill pony for a little while and just stepped back and walked her down the path, he would have made her look like a complete idiot. I did it in like 3 minutes. And then Millennial Mike came up, and he started out well, but you know, he did the same. He kind of did the same. He brought the same energy Cooley did. And what it does is when you bring that energy, when you bring the energy, it just makes her look good and makes you look like a bully. Right. So I talked to her. Are you saying I talked to her like a father ghost? Wait, there's a Discord that I'm not in. Hey, what's up, Natalia? How are you? Good to see you. It's been a while, Nat. Good to see you. Paige has a Discord. There's a Discord that I'm not in. I am shocked.
There's no way you can go. I don't think you can actually have a proper debate with Diddley at all.
Oh, you can.
All of the argument. Well, no. Like when you try to have, if you try to do any kind of generalization, she will always bring it back to her, and then.
So the only way that you can do that, Emmett, is the only person that can go aggressively at someone like Diddley, who's just saying, no, my life is perfect. Look at me. I make money. I went to university. I'm blah, 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 blah. The only people that can do that are women. And when Kat went after her, she gained. Look, Kat was the only one in that entire debate that made a sound argument. And that is shocking.
Well, yeah.
That's not a debater. But she didn't come at it with this massively emotional point like Cooley did, and wasn't like this overbearing big swinging dick in the room. You lose, the thing is that and Brian at whatever is really good at this. I don't know if you've noticed that and Andrew's really good at this too. They get these girls to expose themselves, and then they hammer them, right?
Yeah.
Right. So if you if you ever watch Brian, he's like, oh, what do you think about this? And it seems like really like monotone or soft.
Not nice when he's being nice.
But when he's being nice, he's setting your ass up. Guaranteed.
Yeah. 100%. Well, he goes on and he's like just asking small questions and being all
and then he sets the trap and he springs it. Same thing that Andrew does. Andrew says the same thing. Oh, really? You don't believe in God? What? You don't believe this? Oh, really? Why is it? Okay. Well, you're a fucking whore. Why are you a fucking whore? Right. So you've got to especially with these women like Diddley, you have to be way more tactical. Leah, no, who said that? Oh, Ghost went 1978. That was the nicest I've seen you argue or talk to anybody on that panel. It was the most tactical I've ever had to be on that panel because I've watched Diddley over and over. So, it
makes sense.
Right. I mean, you just have to. So that remember, it's a lot like when you're playing poker. You're not playing the cards. You're playing the guy sitting across from you. It's the same thing in debate. I don't even play poker. So, and so with the thing is that Diddley, if you come at Diddley all hardcore and like Cooley did with all of this, the kind of pseudo red pill, nonsense and try and bludgeon her about the head with it, all she does is sit there and blink her eyes and go, well, it doesn't happen to me.
And in a way, she's correct because it doesn't happen to her.
Right. So you have to make it not about her. You can't say you are what makes OnlyFans bad. You have to say, no, OnlyFans is bad because all of these women get roped into it because they literally have a bounty placed on young women's heads so that other women can go bring those women in and exploit them for OnlyFans. And then, now they're selling their butthole on the internet. And that's wrong. Can you agree with that, Diddley? Do you not think that's wrong? And she said, yes, that is wrong if that is what's happening. I'm like, well, it's obvious that's what's happening because even you know about the recruiting program, which she called it a recruiting program. I call it something else. So you just have to get them to admit, oh yeah, that's right. Right. And so Cooley can't debate, guys. I'm just going to tell you right now. I haven't seen it. This is the second debate that I've seen him in where he absolutely got his nuts handed to him.
I think so.
Somebody needs to be a friend and just tell him that at least in this sphere of debate, he needs to not debate because it's a bad look. It's a bad look for him. So, like an internal critique. Yeah, exactly. Ghost 1978, like an internal critique. Yeah.
Internal critiques are hard with. Well, I don't know. When I saw the Andrew Diddley debate, it was like really hard for Andrew to do the internal critique because she would not answer the questions.
Well, so again,
she would not answer the
you have to
she would
lead
just go
her
ahead and
into
be
the
like
questions.
me.
The thing is when people won't engage, you have to lead them into the question and then beat them about the face with it, right? Like
I'm not disagreeing with you, Greg.
I know, but it's so frustrating to think about, right?
I understand what you mean. It is like yeah, it is. I just it's a
but look, so other people you want to get really angry, like Pisco, you just want to get angry. You absolutely want to get him so pissed that he just rages, and then any point you want to make, you're going to make, and he's not going to be able to counter it because he's so mad. All right, so hoping eventually Sarah will stop people from jumping in while somebody's talking. It seems like I'm getting worse. I don't think, maybe he's talking about my voice. No, my voice is fine.
I think he's talking about Sarah because Sarah was there was a couple of times when she was pretty much she played like defense for Diddley during the debate. Not saying that she wasn't doing
I mean, she just wants everybody not to talk over each other, right?
Yeah, but there were points where they were like, I think there was a specific point that I saw that Kat was trying to make Diddley answer a question, and Sarah like completely moved the debate in another direction, and Diddley never answered the question thanks to that, stuff like that. Jess was very angry about that yesterday. He was.
Yeah, but Jess White doesn't know how to debate either, so why she's commenting on debates, I have no idea. So, what is so Duck says also, I'm not fucking sure what Kat wanted. I want Jesus Christ, love you, Kat, but do not something.
Is that Duck?
Do not do another comedy show without something bashing. Okay. Anyway, so here's the thing. Kat scored the only points in the debate, guaranteed. What's up, Anson?
Hey, Anson.
Hey, what's going on?
Kat scored the only points in that debate because she was the only one that brought facts. She didn't make it about Diddley. She made it about OnlyFans, and Diddley could not dispute the facts as they were given. And so Kat scored literally the only points in that debate. If you're gonna score it off the points. Which you should in this one.
MS dog's going wild in the background. You hear that?
That's not
it's not even. Yeah, it's not even my dog. It's an outside dog.
Angel Berber. Well, when the host holds slot panels is right. Well, and this is why I buy the panel, right? Because when I go up there and I'm trying to talk and Fatty just keeps talking over every fucking body. By the way, Fatty, do you hear his little like dig at me as I was leaving? The people only like me because of my wallet. I was like, yeah, sure, Fatty, whatever. So, yeah, Fatty was funny. I thought he was hilarious, but most people, other people might have had a different takeaway, but I thought it was funny as fuck. But Fatty didn't make any good points either. He kept saying the same thing to Diddley that Cooley was, and it got the same reaction. I'm not doing that. And then he would repeat, but X. And she was like, yeah, but I don't do that. So it's fine. And again, it's just a mistake to take that tactic. But I don't know if it was the nicest I've ever been, but I knew that I had to tone it down to make Diddley admit that that, okay, yeah, for her it's not a problem, but for the entire rest of OF it is, right? And she would try and crawdad a little bit by saying, you know, I'm not aware that most girls do that, or I don't think that happens with most girls, you know, whatever. And it just it was one of those things where if I had actually, if I were to actually, and I am open to debating Diddley, if I will literally destroy Diddley. Diddley will not survive that encounter, because her entire point of view is that it doesn't hurt her, so it's fine. And the West, meaning, you know, the United States of America, is just too uptight. We're just too uptight, isn't it? We're just too uptight.
You know, you were talking about something interesting there. Not about that hot chick, but about Fatty. So,
Yeah.
his debate style is like just aggression and ad hom, and I think he has the same problem that like hot chicks have. Like if you're an aggressive man, people will just defer to you so that you don't
Sure.
like do something to them. And I think in real life, like he's just an aggressive, overly aggressive person, and people have just given him deference because they're afraid of him, and he can't do that over the internet.
So the thing about Fatty, I've noticed, is he just runs away with the topic and just he I mean, he literally commits all. I counted the fallacies that he committed with Rob Noren. It was all of them, like all of them. Gish Gala.
Well, you can do that if you're debating against somebody that doesn't know how to return.
Right. And Rob would call him on it. Rob's like, we're not going to do that. We're going back. And that really frustrated Fatty. And Fatty just tactics. Look, Fatty's an old school, my opinion, right? This is my observation. I don't know this to be true. People can argue. I don't give a fuck. My opinion is Fatty is an old school debater that you know, blood sport style ish, that in his mind, right or wrong, in his mind, he just needs to repeat the same thing over and over and over again. And it's the and it just does what it does, right? And it but when he gets into a debate with an actual someone that actually debates, like Jake Var, for example, Jake Var beat his ass in the 2A debate, and it was only because Fatty stacked the judges that he won. And when they faced again, and Fatty could not stack the judges, he lost. You know, so
Yeah, all I got to say is BLM hashtag big labia matter.
yeah. But you guys have to understand that Fatty is just a, you know, he's I mean, look, I don't have anything against Fatty. I absolutely 100% I do not think he is a good debater. What's up, Trippy Cast? You want to come up? Somebody get Trippy Cast. Go over to the Discord, get a link, pop up here. We'll have the clown on. We'll have a second clown on. So.
An entertaining clown. Have you watched that guy's streams? It's wild. He's a really good entertainer. Trippy Cast.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen him on a couple of panels. He's
well, no. His own streams. They're wild, dude. You got to check that stuff out.
Yeah, guys. Everybody should subscribe to Trippy Cast because he needs a few more subs, and he's like so close. Just needs a few more, and some watch hours would help. So. I don't know where Kissy Cat is tonight.
Working probably.
Yeah, maybe.
In her boat, one or two.
I got the links in the mod chat, or for the never mind, I got it for the server. I got you, bro. Got you. So at any rate, yeah, I don't know. I like Fatty. I used to like Fatty. I don't know. I used to like Fatty. Now I'm like, eh. whatever. I don't like hanging out with him or anything. So
You and Fatty don't go to the beach together?
no.
You don't rub suntan lotion on each other?
No. Do you?
No, he doesn't need any. He's all ashy. He needs some cocoa butter.
So what did you watch the debate the other night with Cooley and Kat and
Deedley and the other guy.
I saw that Kat was debating, stuck around to hear some of the things that she was saying, and remembered that Kat can't debate, and then I stopped watching.
You know what's funny is literally Kat was the only one that made any points in that entire film.
Oh, Trippy Cat just raided you, Grid.
I know.
Oh.
I know. We were going to raid him if he stayed on long enough, but he did not. So
yeah, so you're going back to the fatherland this weekend?
I'm going to go to Alaska, man. I haven't been to Alaska. I kind of want to go, you know.
Well, it's almost the right time of year for that. I mean, you wait another month or so and it'll be warm.
It's the Duck Man. What's up, Duck Man?
What is up, everyone?
Duck, what did you do before you were unemployed?
I worked in technology and software.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
so it was cool. Yeah, I mean, I got to work at companies all over the world. I worked with and managed teams over 5 or 6 different countries, and so that kind of stuff was very fun. Yeah, and now I just work out a bunch. Doesn't look like it, but it's true.
Well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, but you're the man of the hour. I wanted to. Yeah, I was excited to come up. I know we're not going to see you for the next week or so.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's gonna be a week.
I was just going to sit here and kind of have that like slightly, because I'm a little autistic in the actual sense. So I was just going to sit here and be quiet and try and manage my feelings and emotions.
I know you watched the entire debate over at Sarah's the other night. I did not. I only got there for like the last 30, 40 minutes of it. What did you think of the debate?
So I so I actually got kicked out of studio once the panel started. So that's my main thing. So yeah. I thought it was a good discussion. All glowing things. I think Cooley was eager to embrace points that exist. Points that existed. I think Diddley was a great panelist to have about the topic. I wish her interlocutor, her partner, had done a little more research. From my perspective, my vantage, I didn't think Cooley or Kat had prepared at all.
I think Kat had. Kat was the only one that actually had accurate statistics.
Yeah. Kat was nice when she was talking and all this. But still, like, you have someone that does it and who has a degree in psychology, right? You have both of those things.
I do.
Right there. So
I do. I don't know if you know this. I have a degree in psychology with it was a double major, criminal justice, and then I minored in philosophy with an emphasis on Asian thought. Not Asian thoughts, Anson.
Yeah, well, I mean, you
literally, he like did you see he popped right back up?
Yeah, that's pretty exciting right there. Asian thoughts. Yeah, I'm a fan. I mean, who isn't a fan of Asian thoughts?
I have to agree with Anthony here.
Yeah.
Okay. Anson's all about the thoughts now. But yeah, so I think that just from what I saw, Diddley didn't do anything but what she normally does, which is just explain how none of it affects her.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's successful at OnlyFans, right? I mean, she's and it's not harming her any emotionally or physically
Right,
or any of her relationships.
Yeah.
You should just let her do her grid. I mean, she's really
I
just
have
being herself.
I have no problem, and I felt like I was pretty clear that I don't have any problem with what Diddley does.
Yeah.
Right. But for her to say that OF is not a net negative for society is false, and provably false.
Well, no, it's like the drug market grid, right? If you're gonna provide something that is obviously like detrimental to spend your money on, and then people spend their money on it, then the dumb people will have less money, and that's good because then they can do less harm. Because the more money dumb people have, they can do things like give money to Democrats who are running for office.
It's true.
And we want to take as much money away from Democrats as possible, right? So,
but Anson, there's also, I could also, like, I think you're being super charitable, but there's people with $80 of OnlyFans receipts every month who go to work every day. There's people who don't pay for OnlyFans and have a pornography addiction and go to work every day. I think there's between A and B, when we're talking about like actual class 1 drugs and stuff like that. There's got to be a huge difference there. Like, somebody knows more about that than I do, but
yeah.
Trippy Cast, I did get a few viewers. Thank you very much, sir. You're welcome to come up. I dropped the link to my Discord. Just go over to the Discord, go to the room that says waiting room, and say, hey, give me a link, and they'll make that happen for you. It's interesting, Anson. I don't necessarily disagree with your position on that, but at the same time, I can say that much like drug addiction or drug use or recreational drug use, I believe is illustratively a net negative for society. I think that for the most part, I'm sure that there are plenty of people out there, Duck, for example, that can handle recreational drugs just fine.
Yeah, I mean, but what's the solution grid? I mean, it's not.
I don't
like
have nobody asked me for a solution. They just asked me whether it was a net negative or not.
Yeah, I know, but like, so I'll just agree with you for the sake of the conversation that it's a net negative, right? Because like, who in the right mind would want to pay somebody for a virtual experience? Like, you'd have to be a total moron for that. So if you're a moron and people are separating you from your money, then you're being taken advantage of. So I could see that it's bad for the consumer, right? So what?
No, I don't. That's not actually my issue with the OnlyFans. The OnlyFans, look, if it was so, like, OnlyFans was originally started to literally have like cooking classes, and Duck could start teaching software classes, right? And have us OnlyFans and do 3 or 4 classes a week and make some money, and that's what it was meant to do. Then it was co-opted during COVID by strippers who couldn't go to work, but they could go to OF, who had never considered that instead of software people presenting slideshows or doing video classes, it would be chicks taking their clothes off. But the Russian that owns OnlyFans didn't have a problem with it, so they grew, and it did basically become a porn site overnight, and because all back during the unpleasantness, they couldn't go to work in the strip clubs and whatnot. So, and then you had actual prostitutes going to OF because now they didn't even have to actually interact with customers.
Yeah, it's a lot cleaner. That's a net
Yeah,
benefit for
cleaner,
society,
yeah,
right?
it to some degree is cleaner and whatnot. But then the dark side always rears its head, right? Like the beginning is good, and then people start becoming aware of it, and then the bad happens, right?
Well,
Well,
Grid,
what's
let me bring something up though. So
Yeah,
this
go
is
ahead, go
something that
ahead.
bothers me a ton.
Sure.
Is that I'm okay. I'm okay being completely wrong about OnlyFans and
Mhm.
about people like Diddley. I do have strong opinions and beliefs, but I also we've seen so much lying from about we've seen so much lying as well as really weak truth telling about like Pornhub and other and from especially in like conservative states. And so like my connection to this is that like well
What I'm sorry, what kind of lies about Pornhub? I'm sorry, maybe I missed out on something.
when just this sort of fear mongering about how much like pornography harms kids, and that like as a society we have to do something. This has to be a political platform. It's not a big deal. um it's not a big deal. That kind of stuff. So to
Oh,
me it's
I'm
like
sorry. I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean it's not a big deal that they watch it? Is it a big deal? You, I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Well, I
So
mean, I don't want to
yeah,
go
so
too
like
far.
if you're getting taxed, if you're gonna tax that, like you're gonna, sorry, yeah, Grid, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, it's okay, man. Listen, let me ask you. I mean, so I have some understanding of this because Tennessee has passed a law, an anti kid pornography law, right? Pornography, YouTube.
But what did it do functionally?
Well, functionally, what it's done is it has actually made it virtually impossible for teenagers to actually watch pornography
Really?
without stealing their parents' credit card or something like that.
No. Have you tried to actually watch it though and see if it actually works?
So I am aware of I'm aware of someone that has tried to get around the system of fuck. It's Pornhub and there's another one.
Yeah, we got the same thing in Alabama. That's why I'm asking you
Yeah.
these questions because I know the answer.
Yeah, I don't know. I know a couple of people who've apparently tried to get around it and they can't yet. I'm sure they will.
Oh,
Eventually.
well, when we hang out, I'll show you how to do it, Grid. That way you can get back on the horse.
The what?
The horse.
Yeah, but your average Pornhub user doesn't look at something like okay, if Pornhub has verified accounts, and this is my tech heritage, right? A verified
Yeah,
accounts,
VPN would
if
work.
you're,
Yeah.
that's like a huge thing. And so but so like that's where I see like Pornhub or OnlyFans could be harmful if the public doesn't know how like account verification keeps people safe. And it also manages the negative externalities, right? Just their TOS, their rules. Like Diddley was saying, you can't have ANAL um, you know butt stuff
Mm-hmm.
on OnlyFans. And so like to me that kind of stuff is like, well, that's something I would talk about, but I don't want to sit here and watch a bunch of rabid males who probably need to jerk off, kind of going at this like, this poor young lady, right? I'm a 35-year-old dude,
Well,
you know, my instinct is to manage that situation slightly differently.
I mean, again, and I said this, when I talked to her, I don't see how this really affects Diddley. She is of age. She's in a completely different country with completely different laws. Right. I get it. For her, and she doesn't even take all her clothes off. I get it. I understand. But when you look at other creators in the space that are not her, the people who are not earning 7-8 figure incomes like they think they're supposed, like they think they're going to, right? The women who get brought into it by other women, which is fucking evil. And all of the money that it generates, which by the way, I am really sad that I didn't invest.
So, Grid, that's not evil. That's how women function normally in all social situations. They're like super followers. If one of their friends are doing it, they want to be doing it. It's like the whole divorce epidemic. One friend gets divorced, and then like it's a chain reaction.
Sure. But I don't think that it's the same in that where, yes, I think you're like, if you have 3 friends and one of them starts doing OF, maybe one of the other ones will start doing it too. But we're talking about there's a bounty placed by OF on these women going out and finding other women to bring in, and they're not bringing in their friends. They're bringing in just random ass women. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
you're really, whatever. And they bring them in.
That's just a business model. That's affiliate advertising. That's smart marketing.
No, it's not. It's
But
not affiliate.
they're still.
It's
but
not affiliate
like,
advertising. It's absolutely.
You guys-
It's actually pretty fucking evil.
You guys can't gloss over the fact, though, that like Diddley was saying, though, that OnlyFans is still doing a really great job leaving the super hardcore stuff out, right? And so, when
I don't know that to be true. I see. Here's the thing. I don't care. I don't care what they're showing, right? Like that part of it's irrelevant to me. To be honest with you, the entire discussion's irrelevant, other than the fact that it is a net negative. It's not. I can't find one thing positive about OF. Beyond, some dudes probably do need to jerk off. You're probably right, Duck. And some chicks too, I'm sure. Need to do it.
It reduces reliance. It reduces reliance on regular prostitution, and they don't do butt stuff, as we've learned.
I don't know that. I don't think that you can draw that correlation. But what I can draw a correlation to is that the owner of OF paid himself $1.3 million a day in 2024.
Okay, let's jump into that in a second. Grid.
That was the least amount.
I gotta get one.
Himself.
I got to get one other thing out.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I would love to talk about that, but Diddley's, so just into the debate, Diddley's parents know that Diddley does this, and so is this rhetorical? If I want to know what you guys think. So if I'm Diddley and I'm telling my parents I do OnlyFans, I could honestly say, well, look, there's not nudity. Yes, it is risque, it is pornographic. But when I'm on Twitch, when I'm on YouTube, when I'm on OnlyFans, a lot of my customers, my audience pay me for friendship. They pay me because they don't want to watch crusty David Pac-Man. They don't want to watch Dave Smith have an aneurysm or a stroke about some libertarian philosophy he doesn't even believe in. And so they go, instead of going to those guys because she's a top 10% creator, they go to Diddley. And if it's sort of funny that she's like running whatever, it's a little fetishized with the ASMR stuff, but like she can tell her parents.
No, I think personally, personally, I think Diddley's probably pretty fucking evil, but beyond that, I don't really. I understand none of it is hurting her, so I don't really care about her. That wasn't the question. The question is not, hey, is OF bad for Diddley? The question was, is OF bad or a net negative? I forget how they expressed it. I made for some reason I have net negative stuck in my head.
What do you mean by net? Can you just tell everyone what you mean by net negative?
Well, I think it's a net negative in that it obviously we can point to, again, the grooming. That's negative. There's nothing positive about that. Bringing young girls in, making them believe that they're going to make a fortune when they don't, that's pretty fucking evil.
Well, they have the potential. It's just like any other business, Grid. If you hustle, you can make the dough, right? If you get the right plastic surgery and you take the right classes to learn how to act.
Not true, Anson.
You hire people to run your keyboard for you to chat.
Yeah. So the grooming aspect of it, I think, is really pretty bad, right? The fact that there are so many other things out there to be done that turning to OnlyFans is like a very small thing. I like Anson playing devil's advocate here, but
Well, you were just saying earlier that you want people to own their own businesses. These ladies are just entrepreneurs going
No,
out
they're
on
not
their own
owning.
and
But
doing
they
what
don't
they
own the
can with what
business.
they have.
They're not owning a
They're
business.
independent contractors, Grid.
They're an
They're
employee.
small
They're an
business owners.
employee to the largest pimp in the world. But I mean, so we have the grooming aspect of it. We have obviously the findom aspect of it, where these women are literally taking men for all the money they have, and they're proud of it and they brag about it. We have the emotional aspect of it on a lot of young women. And again, I understand that for Diddley, this is fine. It's perfect. Good, great. We're not talking about you. We're talking about overall net negative. And I think it's a net negative. I don't think that is Lindsay spazzing out?
Yeah, but Grid, if you say it's harmful, and I don't want to I don't want to beat
No,
a
go
dead
ahead. It's
horse,
fine. I
or
don't care.
what was a dead tomato panel. If you're gonna scream at us and tell us that it was
Oh,
harmful,
I'm not screaming at all.
and I mean, I'm taking it that you have point after point after point that that OnlyFans isn't, we're not at the bottom of it yet, and so
Well, that's
I
actually
still
a good
didn't get that
point.
first push of why I even talk about it.
Yeah, that's actually a good
Maybe
point.
it's
I
too
don't think that we're.
literal.
I That's actually a really good point, Doug. I don't know that we are at the bottom of. I don't think OF has hit rock bottom at all, or most of the and for most of the people.
It's probably true.
I think
Yeah, I bet.
it's
I mean, I
still.
bet there's a ton of your audience in chat probably. I know there's a bunch of the two-way guys, two-way girls, and stuff. Two-way folks around. Like, I'm sure
Mhm.
people who have that sort of securitized mindset see OnlyFans as like a ticking time bomb in some
See,
sense.
I know. I see OnlyFans as a flash in the pan. I see it as, it allows some people to make a mass amount of money, and just like anything, where some people can make a lot of money very easily, other people want to do the same thing. It's just the way it is, right? So I don't know what that has to do with 2A, but the interesting thing is that, to me anyway, the interesting thing about OnlyFans is um, the very meta kind of not metamorphosis, the way that it's kind of trying to pivot, right? And it's really trying to
Yeah.
get away from its current image. And an interesting thing about Pornhub and 2A though is that way back when YouTube was going to kick all of the 2A creators off of YouTube, and everybody was getting sanctioned and all of that. We a lot of them were actually creating Pornhub accounts because Pornhub did not have any rules against firearm stuff, and they were welcoming them with open arms. Some people didn't, just because they didn't want to be associated with Pornhub, but it's very interesting.
So Grid, just based on your take
Sure.
and how you so easily moved around the app ecosystem, I have a Webster's dictionary
Yeah.
here. And as if God is speaking through us right now.
Oh, thank you.
I have the word prophylaxis, which is an action taken to prevent disease. And so that's like one of the, just from my own perspective, because
Mhm. Yeah.
like obviously we're having a really great conversation here and now.
Sure.
But like, this is one of the things. It's like, well, can you say that society has a right to discuss what sort of prophylaxis can be taken if OnlyFans is creating these types of risks, whatever types of risks those might be?
Sure. I think if we were capable of I mean, I think that when you say society, I'm not really sure
Yeah.
I mean, do you mean every single person, every single human? The thing is I don't know that there's any I would not agree with, unless the laws locally have are against it. I'm not sure that the federal government should step in and do something about it. I'm not saying that. I certainly have not. I hope I haven't implied that. I'm just saying that overall, I think OF is a net negative for society.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so I don't view OF as a negative. I view it as a symptom of the society that we have. Like if our culture were intact and the men were fulfilling their duty, then OF wouldn't be a problem.
I don't think it has anything to do with.
Oh, I do.
See, Anson, I want to agree with you on that, but here's the thing. While it is a symptom, I can agree with that 100%. But it's not just a symptom. It's also it was created to fill a need that no one knew they had, and so it created its own demand, and then it fulfilled the need that nobody knew they needed.
Yeah, well, it's like Steve Jobs and Apple. It's the new iPhone of getting yourself off, right? Isn't that what that is? Yeah,
of degeneracy.
Yeah,
iPhone of degeneracy. I mean, I can agree with that. I just think that I think the one thing about OF that everyone was trying to the escapism that was tried, I guess, to cover up for OF is that it wasn't actually doing any harm to the girls, but we now know that that's not true. So the thing about pornography is that we know, because we have many examples of the girls involved in various pornographic activities, self-deleting, self-harming, drug abuse.
Well, do you think that the kind of women who engage in this behavior are already unstable and therefore engage in the behavior because they're already unstable and they're unstable?
Double negative, because all women are unstable. Come on.
Yeah, I know, and they're even more unstable because they don't have the right kind of men in their life who were there intact.
I don't know that. No, I don't. I think that you can absolutely have a less than broken woman get involved, get hooked into this, get groomed for this, and it ruined their lives. 100%.
There's also trafficking going on.
I don't want to get into the trafficking thing, because that first of all, YouTube will probably be even more pissed off at me than normal. But
that's a red herring for all of the stuff that the right doesn't like. They do it for everything that they don't like. They say that,
I don't know. I know cases.
I don't think it's red herring, but I really, the problem with the trafficking aspect of it is it removes the responsibility and accountability from the women who choose to engage in this.
Women can't have responsibility. They're women.
I have such a dumb
wow, Anson.
I agree with that.
I'm right in the labia.
I have to jump in and ask a really dumb question.
Sure.
So, man. As the panel liberal here, perhaps even is if human trafficking exists, and as it does, is this a household issue? Is this something that when we are making judgments about a society, things that we know might take 10, 20 years to make any impact, any difference? In the meantime, we hope we can set up law enforcement agencies to do a great job with stuff. And really make an impact in the short term. But I don't see necessarily how OnlyFans is this type of thing that jumps out of my brain and into a political action committee or something like that. To me, it's just there's.
I think you're overthinking it, Doug. I think you're overthinking it. To me, it's really a simple thing, right? Like I don't like the idea that we're going to associate or that we immediately associate trafficking with it, because I think a lot of these women make their own decisions. Sure, they get lured into it. Sure, absolutely. They get groomed 100%. They get lied to. They lie to themselves, whatever. It's okay.
It's just like any other job. I mean, your employer can mislead you about the kind of work.
I don't want to say that it's just like any other job, but the idea behind it is if you want to say, well, they were trafficked, well, that removes a lot of the responsibility and the decision making factor from the women who choose to do this. And of course, these are bad decisions, obviously, but they're still decisions. They made a conscious, rational-ish decision to do this. And then when it's bad, they go, well, I was trafficked. I was, whatever. So I know
Well,
grooming, I think, grooming is sure they bear some of that responsibility, but somebody else also bears some responsibility. And I think we have to kind of look at that
So
in
Grid,
and of
you and I
itself.
here, you and I are like this on this issue.
You
And
think so?
I still think maybe people are going to say I'm too soft about this. But the reason I think we're butting heads is because I see someone like Diddley who seemed intelligent, informed,
Mhm.
empathetic, and compassionate as much as someone in the adult industry as a business owner needs to be. And um, but I think she
Sure.
holds a higher standard than a ton of folks that I've talked to. And at the same
Well,
time,
so
so
again, look, Diddley is not indicative of the average OF girl. If you want to see the average OF girl, watch whatever. And speaking of whatever, Kronick, Abundance Nicholas says, I noticed we haven't seen any Grid One super chats on whatever in a pretty long time. I don't know he says lady time. I'm sure he means last time.
I don't know, the
I
last time,
remember it was
yeah.
the end of 24, unless I'm missing it because I'm on the Crucible. I don't know. No, it was probably, I don't
Mikey
know.
Balls about an hour ago.
No, I super chat. The last time I super
Be
chatted on
decisive,
whatever was,
Oh,
you have to be
I see what it
decisive. So just to clarify for Chronic and chat, folks, be decisive. Those little $5, $10 nickel pieces will buy Grid his first mojito and Mai Tai.
well,
And it also
I
it
don't
brightens
drink.
up chat too.
I don't
Oh,
drink.
okay.
I've never drank in
Oh,
my life, actually. Never tried drugs.
Puritan.
No.
Oh my, that's
Yeah, weird, right?
yeah.
So the interesting
Uh,
thing
if
is it has been a couple of months since I have donated, but the biggest thing is I can't. It was probably has been a month and a half since I've donated on whatever. The problem is I don't have time to watch whatever anymore. I used to, and now I don't, and it's unfortunate. Either I have to not do my show and not prep for my show and watch whatever, or I prep for my show and not watch whatever. So, but
whatever's been lining them up, man. They've had Jim Bob, they've had
oh
Jay,
yeah,
they've had
yeah. And I
Andrew
was
on
just saying
recently.
that I was just saying that
Crazy.
I had kind of in
Those
my
guys,
head.
I think Andrew has like 250,000 subscribers now too. That guy
Yeah, that's
is
wild.
blowing up.
180,
Yeah,
180,000.
yeah, 100. Yeah, he's got There's like 5,000 people that join his chats and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, Grid One's got to step it up in terms of
Yeah.
the
Well,
grift
so yeah.
money.
I've been yeah, so I should go on whatever. I was thinking maybe on my way back from Alaska I would stop in LA. I do now have something of a it's going to be read it.
Agrolepolis donated $50 super chat. Grid has his own grift going on.
If the
Don't
sky has
hate.
opened.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Agrillipus. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so Brian basically, the last time he was on the show, he said, the next time I'm in town, to hit him up, I could be on the show. So I was going to try and do that on my way back through from Alaska next week, but I don't think we're going to be able to do it. We're going to try, though. We're going to try. We're going to see how the flights work out and everything, and we'll see if maybe I can make it on whatever. We'll spend the night in LA. My wife loves LA. So. And but otherwise, maybe later this summer I'll make it on to whatever. But yeah, I just haven't been able to watch. I haven't even been able to watch the show. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. One of the things that I do like that they do is I like that they have the open panel formats where you obviously have the big names that people come to whatever to see,
Mhm.
but then you also have other people that contribute to that type of conversation. And so having being that established, I think is really good for them, and they make great choices from a business model perspective. Um, I don't like that their business model still allows for inquisitions and what looks like beating down guests. Again, maybe as a liberal, my sensitivities aren't quite the same, but
Mhm.
like I always see that stuff in a business sense as something that's going to be a barrier in the future versus something that is going to create opportunities for them.
Well, so Duck, I'm kind of right there with you actually, but I from a slightly different angle, right? Like, so these women that get on there are obviously idiots, and they're being taken advantage of, just like these chicks on OF are being taken advantage of. I mean, they get on there and they sound like total morons, and they're basically what you call beaten down or inquisition. I mean, the women that have this kind of worldview that they're attacking, they can't stand up to the
Yeah,
Inquisition.
yeah,
They can't
yeah,
stand up to the
yeah, yeah.
Inquisition because they're not, they don't think about their thinking. They're base level people, right? They're NPCs. And I view it as kind of mistreating women, but in an instructive way, right? I mean, people learn from this.
It's interesting you say that, Anson. So the I used to actually kind of feel bad for the women on whatever as well, and then I realized that definitely do not feel bad for them at all. They do it to themselves, and basically all Brian does is just give them a chance, give them all of the rope so that they can hang themselves. And it's very interesting to watch, right? But these.
Hey, Grid, sorry, I don't mean to
Go
interrupt.
ahead.
Are you going to be around? Are you going to be on for another 15, 20 minutes or so?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to just mute and I'm going to set up my little home studio so the light's not so obnoxious for the audience. But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Totally okay. All right. And I totally lost my thought, man.
You were talking about how great and wonderful OnlyFans is. Go ahead, Grid.
I was not at all talking about that. Not even a little bit. That's funny. So what, Anson? I gotta ask, man. Because I know you're my pro degenerate. Like, you're a degenerate that is you're probably like junior pro. You're not actually pro, but you're right there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I'd never pay a woman for an online experience. I'm not that degenerate.
When you say online experience, what are you talking about?
Well, I mean, something that should be done, in person.
Oh. Oh. Okay. All right. Got you. See, that's actually a weird thing for me. Actually, is the idea is these what do they call it? It's like what kind of relationship they have? Parasocial relationship.
Yeah,
they have with-
parasocial. Yeah.
Yeah. That's and that's kind of a weirdness to me as well. Right.
Yeah. I mean, and I like meeting people in real life. Like, that's where I've done most of my socializing, right? I mean, I didn't really find the panel space till a little over a year ago. Prior to that, like, I would convert my online friends to real people that I met in real life. Right.
Cat's has a TTS coming through. It'll be a minute because of all the memberships. But so do you think, Anson? I mean, legit, like all joking aside, do you think that the way that these people are choosing to conduct their relationships? Oh, here we go.
Oxcaxo donated $10 super chat. I don't feel bad for any adult making their own decisions to be degen or exploit themselves.
Thank you, Kissy Cat, for that rad super chat there. That actually makes a lot of sense, and that's kind of where I was going to go to. So Anson, it's just such a weird thing to me for the massive amounts of money men send these women that they are never going to meet, and the way that these women take advantage of them, and then when they can't anymore, the depression and the all of the weirdness that sets in. What do you think about that? How does that work for you?
Well, I mean, society's never been short on losers, right?
Agree.
Right. So we just get to see what the losers do, and it's come to the forefront, right? I mean, if you're a guy that can't get a woman, like in the past, you were just, alone, and no one had to be a part of that loneliness. But
that's actually a solid point. That may be one of the most solid points you ever made. In the past, if you sucked at talking to women and they didn't want to talk to you, you were alone, but nobody knew that you were alone, and you could deal with being alone, and you were still probably relatively productive. Now you should be alone, but instead you find these parasocial relationships where all of these women suck the money out of your bank account. So now not only are you alone, now you're poor.
Yeah.
And you hate life. That's a solid point. That's a solid point.
Yeah. And my problem is that I'm trying to find a decent woman, and they won't take my money. It sucks. So I don't know. But yeah, no, you're right, Grit. I mean, I guess that was a good point. I wasn't trying to make a good point, but
I know you were trying to be funny and ironic, and I wouldn't let you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll try harder.
I appreciate the effort. Anson. That's funny, Anson. Yeah. They're making a lot of fun of your lights, Duck. I noticed you put a jacket on as well.
Yeah,
No jacket required.
I figured, I mean, since the super chats are rolling in,
there we go.
Figured formal wear.
You want to look good,
formal wear. Gotcha.
Yeah, like country club casual. I think this is about their Harry Potter shirt from Target.
Shit, I better put on a shirt.
I actually do have a Hugo Boss jacket as well.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's nice. I got it at like one of the upper end secondhand stores. So it wasn't, like you can go to Goodwill and find a jacket you love, or a couple.
Do you live in like Florida? So you got a Florida man vibe about you.
No, I'm in so my family is from the Midwest. But I am I think I'm like the prototypical black sheep in some sense.
No, not you.
Liberal arts major. I was the first in my family to come out as, not being religious, and so, all kinds of these little ticky tack things. But by and large, we're an old Italian sort of Midwest family. Yeah.
Great. Before we continue, I just gotta say that I have a meeting and I gotta go. So
all right, we'll see you, man. Go have your meeting.
See you, Emmett. Good to talk. Have a good one. Take care.
A good one.
Yeah.
$5 from Kissy Cat. Calm down, Nip Anson. I think she means nipple Anson.
Yeah, that's our thing. I'm always telling her to calm down because she's an emotional woman and she can't control herself.
Yep. Can't control her nipples. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean that is a female problem too. They got those bras for that. Get a bra, Kissy Cat. That'll fix it.
Baby voice. Someone in the chat said I have a baby voice. Do you guys think I have a baby voice? I think it's booming when I get going, but when it's from the chest and diaphragm and all that stuff. But the vape definitely makes it a little more effeminate.
No,
I don't like that.
You just got to smoke a couple of packs a day. It'll fix it.
The thing about you, Duck, is you remind me of the one that one janitor in every high school that lives in the basement and just is always there. The custodian. That's what it is. You remind me of the custodian.
it's not a bad deal if you get a credit for room and board, plus you get
Yeah.
a stipend. That's,
Are you vegan?
I am also, yeah, that's the other thing that's horrible about me is I actually just went grocery shopping today. So I got a bunch of the vegan staples. The one thing I'm excited about is I got Beyond Beef burgers. So they
Mm.
I know you guys are gonna like your Kobe, your 80/20. I was all about that bacon burgers. I still appreciate it. It makes me hungry when I smell it, but Beyond Beef's got these like big 8-pack cookout style things, so I have really good food for the next couple of days.
But the
Lots of B
amount of
vitamins, which
soy,
I know
man.
folks worry about. So
The amount of soy in your diet's probably unhealthy, bro.
I reduced soy as well. But yeah, I used to drink a ton of when I first went vegan. I drink soy milk, cereal, that kind of stuff. Mm.
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 Mm-mm.
Duck, you and
I
I
think
aren't that dissimilar, man. I mean, I used to be a libtard vegan, and I'm an atheist too. I mean, you and I aren't actually that much different.
Kind of
You can
sound alike too.
you can
The
grow out
accent,
of it.
just the
I,
accents are
I, I
different.
would I wouldn't be surprised, Anson, if we know some of the same people from running in
Anson,
similar circles on
can
the
you read
internet.
the super chat while you're
Yeah, we didn't we burn them raw things years ago? Yeah, I don't know.
not enough of them apparently.
Yeah, I've still had to be taking them off the chicks for years, so I think y'all still wear them.
Yeah. Yeah, Duck, I don't know, man. I feel like there's some reform needed. That's all right. Hang out with Anson. Anson will fix you.
I'm gonna try something real quick. I know we're just kind of hanging out. I'm gonna see
Sure.
how my frickin' I don't have like a big condenser mic, but I'm gonna see if the actual cancellation works here. Let's see this. Audio output and audio. Can you guys hear me still?
That is the worst echo I think I've heard yet.
Let's see. You guys can hear me okay?
It's really bad.
Really
Yeah,
bad.
it's awful.
That's why I use the Logitech mic. Yeah. Sound like a cell phone or something.
Yep.
Worse.
It
sounds like you're down the hall yelling at somebody.
Hello.
Yeah, very hollow, echoey.
Since we're addressing some stuff about how Duck sounds
Sure.
like a woman in the chat,
Yeah.
I figure I'd address one of the things said about me. I do not own an OnlyFans. I have never paid for any services by a woman online. Those are vicious rumors, and they are not true.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure your accountant takes care of that.
I am my own accountant.
Are you a CPA, Anson?
No, I am not a CPA. I had an enrolled agent designation for a while, but
okay.
in terms of designations, I've never been a CPA.
Okay. All right. You talk like a CPA a lot.
Well, I worked in a public accounting firm for a long time and learned and I've worked directly under CPAs for like 15 years.
Gotcha. That's why. I've been meaning to ask you too about whether or not you were a CPA. Whose Discord is beeping? It was crazy that I and Sarah's. It was Diddley. Diddley's Discord was beeping like all hell, and we could not figure out. I was like, Wicked Wally and I were messaging back and forth, like, whose fucking Discord is that? So, John Cassell says Duck isn't really nice because he has secrets to hide and feels guilty. I'm the crazy one. Interesting. I'm not the crazy one. So Anyway, so yeah, at any rate, I think again, the way if you're going to debate someone like Diddley, who is simply going to constantly tell you that she does it and she's fine and it has no, there's no harm there. And every time you kind of try and pin her down and say something like, for example, well, later in life, this is going to come back. And Diddley's automatic response is, well, I went to university. I have a degree. I can get a good job anytime I want, blah, 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 blah. And, she's more than likely the exception that makes the rule. So there you go. But interesting, a lot of interesting takes on the debate the other night. I think the one thing we can all agree on is that during the debate, the only person actually brought facts was Kat, which is shocking. Shocking, I tell you, that Kat was the one to bring the facts. Cooley was completely emotional, and Diddley's completely detached.
I thought Diddley made some good points.
Which ones?
It turned into a lot of anecdote about what her life was like,
right?
And so like she's the expert on her life. So like from that perspective, I thought it was a W.
Okay, I will give you that because Cooley made it all about Diddley personally. Diddley did a good job of defending Diddley.
Yeah. So Diddley with the W there.
Kissy Cat understood exactly which points I was talking about. She says the ones under her shirt.
Giggity giggity goo. Oh,
you said that that she made some good points. I made a comment. Kissy Cat clarified said comment.
No, Kissy Cat just understood exactly what I was thinking, and that's why her and I are like we're sharing a brain right now. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
I still think. I mean, I don't mean to hold one of the.
Your mic is horrible. Whatever you had before, go back to that.
Okay. Let me just plug this back in. I'll go back on. Can you guys hear me? I'm going back to stockbroker mode. I'm not a stockbroker, but can you guys hear me?
That is much better.
All right. So just to hold Kat accountable, Kat, we know each other well enough that I can say this to you. That I think Diddley's OnlyFans models as a top 10% creator. Her profile.
Kat's not here.
Oh, but she's in the audience, so I'm chastising someone.
No, she's not.
Different Cat.
Kissy Cat is in.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about.
Yeah, but she wasn't the one. She wasn't the one debating. Cat was the one debating. We have a lot of cats.
Yeah. But I'm holding. So as a disambiguation, I'm very much holding this Cat accountable, right?
Okay.
So so to Miss Kissy Cat, as much as I respect you, I hope you understand that. I think there is an incredibly complex business model that probably it's cyclical like any other business, not like being on a period. And so in this case, I would saying that what is underneath Diddley's shirt is only like by definition skin deep. That's what I would have.
Well,
said
no,
to that. Man.
Well, Anson's the one that brought up the boobs.
Yeah, and knowing her, it's probably pierced, so it's probably more than skin deep. There's probably some metal in there, right?
I have no idea, Anson, but that is the funniest thing I think I've ever heard you say. You've said you've thrown out some good ones, but that was pretty damn funny, to be honest with you. Probably pierced.
Yeah, I mean, those chicks, that kind of chick, the kinds that sell themselves like that, they get perforated, right? So
I don't know.
I mean, based on my experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gonna go with that.
Those kind of chicks,
those kind of chicks.
The educated Bristol girls making over $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Gotta have the pierced nipples though.
They do, yeah, they do. The ones that sell themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
I just don't understand how Diddley is any different than you, Grid. I mean, y'all basically have the same exact business model.
Nah, I don't think so.
I mean, you're getting paid to make noises in a microphone, and people are sending you tips.
Yeah,
know?
that's true. The difference is I don't get half naked or even a quarter naked. Matter of fact, I put more clothes on. $5 from Kissy Cat. Well, considering her job, she only values herself skin deep, right? Ooh,
I think that's a little. I think that's a. I think that's a really a false dichotomy, Cat. I would say that as an internal critique, one of the things that is relevant is that, Diddley is intentionally branched out to different platforms. She set boundaries for herself, and she advertised herself first and foremost as someone who came with data and statistics. Um, and she was very much, if anyone were to bring it up, she was very debate panel appropriate. And so I think I would push back on that one as an internal critique. um I
push
don't know
back
if it
on
was a
which
joke,
one?
because I would push back on Kissy Cat. I don't know if she was joking, because I
Oh,
have actual autism, but I would still
I mean,
push back on it.
she's definitely just joking. So
Okay.
Anson, the difference between, say, myself or any other content creator and Diddley is uh, I don't revolve around sex work, although we talk about it a lot. And yeah, not so, I mean, it's not quite the same thing. I can grant you that she has the potential to, and I think this is this is the interesting thing about Diddley specifically, is she's very careful to remind everyone often that she does not do full nudity, and she mostly does ASMR. It's kind of it's an interesting thing. Now, I don't know if this is true. Kissy Cat says she advertises to underage people, so her data and statistics don't matter to Kissy Cat. I didn't realize that. I was weirded out. Now, Anson, I got to give you the kill shot here. I can't allow you any, or I can't grant anything about her, anything being innocent with Diddley, because she's literally streaming from a studio that looks like a 4-year-old's room. And kind of, it's
Well,
creepy.
we already covered
Creepy.
the kind of guys that would purchase her services, right? I mean, they're losers.
We didn't really
Well,
do
they're
that.
losers, right? So the kind of losers that would be into, into a thing like that, paying a
Mhm.
woman to make noises, right?
Mm.
I mean, they probably have other fetishes, and
I
she's
can go
probably
with
leaning,
loser. Yeah, I could go
she's
with loser.
probably just leaning into the fetishes that the losers have that pay her, right? I mean, it's part of, setting yourself up for success, right? If you have a business model, you want to, entertain the audience that you have, right? I mean, it's just like your show, right? You want to entertain the audience you have. You don't want to show them something that's, something that they don't want to buy, right? You two basically have the same business model.
Yeah. I mean, she is, look, again, I have a I mean, no, I think that she's actually like trying to appeal to underage people, but maybe not. I don't know.
I think she is probably someone, if I were to defend Diddley, I would say she's someone that understands TOS, as well as building a long-term audience better than most people, better than probably anyone in the audience here, or as well as, whatever creators, streamers we have. And
Wait, I mean,
so
you
in Diddley,
understand that she's like, how old is she? 28, 30,
Yeah.
something. Like
I don't
she's
remember
not.
what she said.
Well, you can be smart in
I don't
28.
remember.
He's saying that she's really smart. She's a good, shrewd business
No,
person.
I don't think that that's 27. I was wrong. Sorry. 27 and appealing to underage people is cringe.
Well, that's
on a
from a
whole new
woman.
level of cringe.
That's a woman's perspective. That's Kat just being jealous of all
I
of her
don't.
all of her simps. That's all that is.
I don't.
Calm down,
I
Kissy
don't
Cat.
think so. John Cassell. Yeah. So I don't spell out the OXXO nonsense. So since Kissy Cat wants the kissy symbols in front of her name, we just call her Kissy Cat. Or I do. So that's why that may be your source of your confusion. Yeah.
Miss Oxcat, Ms. Oxcat in the, or if Emmett was here, we could say Usted Oxcat.
Yeah.
I think.
Hey Jess, good to see you there. Yeah. Look, I don't think it's any kind of like virtue signaling or puritanism that just says it's just creepy that a 27-year-old woman acts like a teenage girl, streams from a room full of plush stuffed things, animals, whatever. And
Well, I mean, think of it.
that's super creepy and cringe. Now, I do understand also that she is in Australia and maybe the laws are different there than they are here. But that's literally kind of thing gets people arrested here in the United
Well,
States.
like what Duck was saying, Duck, and you've had this issue before, right? So there's TOS related to the things that are hung on your wall, and you can't do certain things with them on a live stream, right? So she's just playing with the TOS to attract people that want a woman that is young, right? Because the kind of audience that she has, and the people paying her are creepy losers.
Well, sure. And that would reinforce the idea that it's a net negative. However, Agrillipus, yeah, I never watched it either. I just watched her debate from Sarah, and so I thought it was weird when she debated Rachel, but I didn't actually really, I didn't really see the studio when she debated Rachel or Andrew. When she was on Sarah's, you could see most of her studio, and it looks like a kid's room, like no doubt, like it absolutely crazy.
And what I was sort of thinking is like I was thinking it would be just as creepy to have like to have to think about like Mr. Beast, and you have a bunch of late 20s to 40-year-olds making videos for people with an average audience of 12 years old.
Well, I agree.
And so
Yeah, I
like
agree with that. I will agree with you on
great.
Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is creepy, and that dude probably should
Yeah.
be in jail as well. But
And like
that,
Roblox, Pokemon cards, there's
I
all
don't
kinds of
think that that's a
parallels.
fair comparison because Mr. Beast isn't selling pictures of his wang. So as far as I know, I don't. Maybe he does. I mean, who knows? But I got $5 again.
Because
Hold on.
wait. Sorry, Kat. This is my bad. This has nothing to do with grid, but it is the same thing because these people are monetizing. They're monetizing this underage audience, and so if you are going to say that,
but
and
again, they're
the
not.
big difference is Diddley probably has statistics from OnlyFans, or OnlyFans doesn't share those, but they have a way to determine, what percentage of their actual cash collected is from over 18, right? That's a good question, but that's not a problem.
Well,
That's not
no. I
Diddley's
mean, we can
problem.
get into Mr. Beast and his specific type of evil later, but what he is doing is not the same as what Diddley's doing, and to conflate the two is, I think that's wrong. Give me 1 second. I got to read these things because people pay me. $5 from Kissy Cat. So because I hold the exact same belief many of the men here hold, I am jealous of her for saving it. Jealous of her for saying it. Calm down, Anson. Wow. Targeted. And that was I feel like I'm missing some other stuff here. I got to roll back here. Give me 1 second here. There's another one I missed. Also, Grid isn't targeting under 18-year-olds with the things on his wall. Cope. Wow, that's
and I don't think Diddley is targeting. Diddley's not
That a
targeting.
little that was a little at you, Grid. I think that. I
No,
think
no,
that was,
no. There's an
no?
at Anson.
Diddley's
Oh,
not targeting
yeah.
people that are that young, because she's targeting people with money. She's targeting men who are losers, who want a woman in an environment like her, who looks like she's younger than she is, surrounded by things that younger people are, because
Right.
she's attracting creepy losers.
Yeah.
It doesn't have
Yeah.
to do with
And I'm
attracting.
not going to get it. And that needs to be the end of that discussion before we get right into TOS.
Yep.
Like we are right on the fucking edge of it as it is, and we're not going over the edge.
Yeah.
Because it's very tempting to right now.
So
Angel Berber said something very insightful, but I can't find it now.
was it the pictures of
Here
the
it is.
3 beers?
A quote from Diddley: "I'm a degenerate gamer who also does ASMR. I like to chat about anything and everything. The weirder, the better, usually." Yikes. So,
No end quotes. No end quotation marks. Grammar,
yeah.
young man or young lady.
Angel Berber is a dude, and he's not young at all.
No. All right, no problem.
I mean, look, again, I mean, we keep straying down these different paths, and I get Anson's point of view, but I'm just going to be honest, man. It Diddley kind of creeps me out. So
She gives you the ick, Grid. You got the ick.
it's not the ick. It's just like literally, she's literally the type of person that when I picture the school teachers that take advantage of 15-year-old dudes, that's literally who I picture.
Oh,
Like, she is soulless. Wow. Fucking Stephen Akari throwing it down. She is soulless. John Cassell is I don't know what you're going on. But anyway, yeah. So again, Anson, I still don't think Diddley made a single solid point from the in the debate the other night. I mean, other than, okay, Anson, I'll give you that. In her weird, warped view, she probably felt like she made a point, but I don't think she made a point. Her teammate certainly didn't make a point. Was he even in the same fucking debate? Jesus. I mean, normally there's always one lost person, but they're usually in the same room. They just are facing the wall, but that dude was gone. Kissy Cat, sorry, Grid, I just can't with the copium. I didn't mean to push it. It's not you that's pushing it. It's Anson is pushing it. And he knows he's pushing it, but it's okay. He knows right where the wall is, and he backed down. That's fine. It's fine. Or not back down. He stopped. So that's good.
yeah. I was super careful with my choice of words.
Yeah. No, Anson's right there. But again, we have to stop. We have to stop there.
Yeah.
So,
We can go back to just saying butt stuff and doing
whoa,
animal
now
grunts
if this
and
is
stuff.
true, Anson, this makes her the most evil person on the planet. I just checked Diddley's Twitch. She links directly to a landing page where non-adults can access it.
Well, yeah, but she just
That's
does ASMR, right? I mean, it's not like she's doing
No,
nudes.
she does, well, supposedly she doesn't do full nudes, but I have no.
You can get the same kind of ASMR content that she has on YouTube, and that's accessible to a whole bunch of people under that age. So
Well,
I mean,
I
it's
don't know.
YouTube is evil.
All right, so we're a couple of assumptions made there. I have no idea what kind of ASMR content she does.
Have you guys? What do you guys think about? What do you guys think about and Grid? This might not turn into anything, but what do you guys think about if you had to defend a Diddley, Christians going online and doing apologetics to underage people, to people who don't have a prefrontal cortex developed yet?
I don't think you need a prefrontal cortex to understand religion. But anyway, Orthodox guy, the way that you get onto the panel is you have to go to the Discord, you go to the waiting room. In the waiting room, you get a link. That's how you do that.
So I just sent you her
I'm looking.
YouTube
I'm
channel,
looking. Yeah, I'm looking.
and so you can see what ASMR is. I mean, it's all TOS friendly. We can review one of her videos. That would be fun.
No, we won't. You can.
ASMR is a waste of time. It ain't nothing.
Isn't that like dumbed down dirty talk?
Yeah, it's like paying for one of those old phone sex lines. Only you call and they like just make noises in the receiver. It's ridiculous.
Wasn't there like a big scandal about those phone sex lines where it was like a bunch of dudes doing it?
I don't know, man. That was before my time. I just remember seeing them on late night TV with 1-900 numbers.
It can't be before your time, Anson.
Yeah, I'm not a boomer like you, Grid.
I'm not a boomer. I'm X, bro. I'm X. So, I mean, first round X, but X.
It was those things were right after like WrestleMania, WWE, and then they had those late night like dating game shows which were really risque on public television back in the day. I remember that shit. I mean, I was in puberty at that time, so I vividly remember all that stuff on the little like 13-inch TV I had on my loft or in my room
So
or whatever.
Ghost 1978 says Diddley does do nudity, and I am wrong.
Well, I don't know how you'd know that unless you went on there and actually looked at it. Oh, I'll look up her OF. I'll tell you.
Of course you will. Of course you will. Anyway, Orthodox guy, are you coming up? Oh no, he wants the site so he can go for research, check out Diddley's stuff.
Just little nibbles, little diddly visual nibbles for Orthodox guy.
I don't get the ASMR thing, but yeah, whatever, it's fine. Yeah. Anyway, you would, but on my Discord, let me drop the link again to the Discord.
Well, her rates are pretty reasonable. It's only $15 a month for a subscription, Grid.
I have no way of knowing if that's reasonable or not. He said that like I should have some frame of reference, but Anson, you obviously have a frame of reference.
Well, she's not one of those creators that has free accessible content, so I'm not gonna. Like I said, I don't pay for this kind of stuff, so I'm gonna have to let y'all down. Sorry, I can't give you an answer. Okay. I don't know if she does.
No freebies.
No.
All right. Well, that's terrible, Anson. That's terrible.
Yep.
Anson, you'd have to explain to your significant other, this is all for the miles, honey. This is for the
hey, Lauren B is in here.
You can go to frickin' what's it called? One of those like the Greek Isles or some shit.
I didn't realize Diddley was old as she is. I kind of understood that she was older because just the way her face looks and everything, it looks older and like she tries to look younger. But 27, man, she's gonna hit that wall soon. Who got arrested? Let's see.
Yeah, Diddley was on whatever against Andrew, Nick, she most of her YouTube content, she has an ASMR channel and she has a very small like debate content channel.
Yeah, I agree with Kissy Cat. I mean, why pay $15 for something you can get for free? I mean, that's what I don't understand. That's why I call it, the losers.
Bonnie Blue got arrested. Bonnie Blue. What the fuck is Bonnie Blue?
She's one of those 1,000 minute a day chicks or 100 minute a day or whatever.
Okay. All right. That's yikes. That's a yikes. Yikes. Duck, would you swim in that ocean? 1,000 men in a day.
I'm a homosexual. I identify as a queer heterosexual. So I can't.
Well, what?
Oh,
What
I
does
don't
that
know what
mean?
you're. All right,
wait.
so Bonnie
Were you?
Blue. Bonnie Blue is
I
this.
thought you were asking me if I would fuck 1,000 dudes in a day,
No,
and
no, no, no.
I don't know how I would get there.
Would you swim in that ocean? Knowing that 1,000 dudes have gone there before? You're not. This isn't the Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah, so I can give you the most like beta male response is I don't see sex as rewarding enough if there's not any sort of substance or reason for it. And so I would imagine Bonnie Blue understands sex as something different than I do. And so I don't even want to see, like, I would even say that she probably thinks sex is unimportant, which I doubt she does because she fucked 1,000 dudes in a day. And so I would say just like a hard no, hard pass for sure. Like no
Hard
for
pass.
that.
All right, Duck.
Hard pass.
Duck is not swimming in that ocean of filth. Anson.
I'm not even taking a canoe over it.
Yeah, so
Not even-
I'm a translate for Duck because that was a roundabout way to say that chick's a whore and I'm not a whore and I can't think like a whore, so I don't know what's going on with it. But yeah, I don't know. Would I do that? Like in the same progression, or like maybe like 5 years later, or whatever. Like, what are we talking about? What's the time frame here, right? I mean, because all women can reform and get better. I mean, I can fix her, So, I mean,
I have something for this. Hang on, let me find that. Keep going. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be
Anson,
one of the.
I don't know why. Wait, sorry. You just said a whore is a whore, and now you're still answering. So
Yeah,
do go
like,
on. Do go
like,
on.
yeah. So yeah. I mean,
clarify which kind of whore.
I wouldn't be one of the guys in line. I might hop on the saddle a few years later after she stopped riding.
I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle as I go riding merrily along.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing you said, Duck. I mean, if she stopped what she was doing and she was able to, have an actual relationship with you, you probably would too, wouldn't you?
I mean, I don't think having the most I could say right now is having had a career as a adult film actor is not a non-starter for me.
Yeah,
not a non-starter
I would be,
for you.
No, I would be. To me, I would be. To me, it sounds like asking, "Would you date a power lifter?" Like same question, same exact question.
The warning label is right there, bro. It's right there.
Is the classic the classic 50s hourglass shape. I think that's when that was really popular.
Yeah, I don't know. Her hips aren't wide enough.
Oh yeah. And so this is I think we use terms like, oh well, she gets around and stuff like this. And like part of this is just because of how unimportant, from my perspective, is just how unimportant sex is, right? Like if a guy or a girl, oh, they get around, well, like maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's not a good thing. You know, what's the actual emotional content or sort of the semantic, like what's the meaning or relationship component? Like just ask that question first, or if you're not doing that, then like what do you actually care? Why are you talking? Stop talking.
All right. So I just wanted to clarify one really important thing just to tie this all together, right? So everything that I've been doing has been basically devil's advocating. And
I know.
Almost like the opposite of what I believe. Diddley's dad needs to like disown her and basically, act like a man instead of, accepting her behavior. It's disgusting. He's a pathetic.
She lives at home, right? Doesn't she live at home?
It doesn't matter. I mean, like he should be
lives at home.
publicly. He should have been getting up on that panel where she was and basically chastising her when she was done.
He should have gotten out the belt. Obviously, didn't use it enough.
It's disgusting. Yeah.
So horses, huh? Yeah. Okay.
Naomi is a big animal fan. See, I think that's way more worthwhile. I would rather have a
friendship. Kissy Cat's a massive animal fan.
Is she?
Yeah.
She's like yeah, that's see, I think I don't mean this, but like uh from my opinion, I would think that that is way more those types of things are uh like way more things that humans naturally build relationships on than
Yeah.
something else, like, right?
I think the cowboy crooners had it right. Yeah. Anyway,
Do you ever see that Tom Hanks movie Bachelor Party Grid?
like a million years ago.
Yeah, you remember the donkey scene?
I can't say that I do.
Yeah, that was like a woman and a donkey stripper scene.
No.
When we hang out, we'll watch it together, Grid. It'll be fun.
I don't think so. Anyway, hey, it's VO Pod in the house. Yeah.
You guys see Naomi as a goat owner? Ah, have you guys? I remember. I thought it was so funny. I was in my 20s when that video of Taylor Swift with the goats came out. I might have even been younger. There's an old meme video of Taylor Swift
This cat
singing
has
Trouble.
53 sheep and 11 dogs.
Woo.
That's a lot of sheep.
11 dogs. Those are work. Cattle dogs are so cool.
Mhm.
I had a. That's cool. Cat. I have a I don't know what she is, but she's brilliant.
Yeah.
But those pups are awesome.
Yeah, I agree with you, Duck, that women who own animals and care for animals are more nurturing, and it's a sign of a stable female that does that.
What?
Yeah.
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 Anson
cats.
angling for all the crazy cat ladies in the house tonight,
not
ladies
cats.
and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Anson Knowles angling for all of the crazy cat ladies. Just send him your number. He loves the crazy. He lives for the crazy.
We're gonna have to guest debate. Not that Beth. When I first saw Beth, this is really mean. I shouldn't say this. This isn't Buddhist right speech, but I was gonna say Anson and Beth. If Anson ever guest debates on your show, Grid, I think Anson and Beth would be. That would be fire.
Where
That
is
would
it?
be.
I gotta
a
go.
bit-
We've debated the first episode. I wasn't a judge, and Beth beat me.
That's true. But you kind of let her be.
Well, I became tongue tied, and Ticky Tack voted against me just because I became tongue tied.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I agree. I'd like to debate her again. That would be good. I could probably beat her.
I need to get some more judge. I
cool.
need to line up some more judges. I missed Orthodox guy coming in. What's up, Orthodox guy? Paging Orthodox guy. Paging Orthodox guy. You are in the
also
house.
setting up his tinfoil mic.
Tinfoil. Naomi and her horses. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Six white horses.
You could set up. You could, just to prevent these studio awkwardnesses. You could always buy an airplane hangar in Arizona, and just lock some of the folks that are regulars in there.
In
We'll make great
Arizona.
content.
Arizona's oddly specific.
Well, we've got a ton of airfields out here.
Oh, that's
we've got
true.
Luke Air Force Base. Plus a bunch of smaller ones. I grew up actually right outside of an air park neighborhood.
Yeah, Orthodox
even better
guy.
than
It's
Horseback.
totally cool. A lot of people have mic issues. Let me know if you can't get it solved. I'll help you work through it. Who's Jason? John Cassell. I don't know who Jason is. Who's Jason?
I don't know. Is there Jason Cassell? No. John, you have a doppelganger somewhere that we don't know about. That's all that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, bud.
The interesting thing is that there are a lot of small airfields out in like Arizona and Nevada. So
California, man. Everyone wants access to California, to Texas, Nevada.
Texas has a lot of small airfields. We have a lot of small airfields, but they're mostly grass strips, so that I can't fly my airplane. I can't fly my really fast airplane out of. So
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Sky Harbor is one of the bigger. I think it's one of. It's like one of the bigger in the country. It's pretty big in relative to the world.
Mhm.
I don't think people expected Phoenix to grow as fast as it has, but you know, those city planners kind of have that 20-year mindset, you know, that 20-year grind, and so you know, Sky Harbor's been around forever. They built freeways around it. And then obviously with all the military presence we have out here, we used to have nuclear silos and stuff like that that got decommissioned in like by Tucson and stuff.
Yeah, I know some
Weird
people
place.
that there's actually actually I could see you living in it, Duck. There's a decommissioned nuclear silo that's been turned into a house in
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
in like Wyoming or somewhere. Yeah, it's somewhere out in the middle of fucking nowhere, which I can literally see Duck living in the middle of nowhere and being just okay with it, just happy. So,
Yeah.
Duck, what kind of hippie are you anyway?
Um.
Patchouli oil. You have all of the
um,
natural herbal remedies on the shelf.
Yeah. MCT oil.
You got like St. John's wort.
Nutritional yeast. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm like the hippie. I'm not so okay, so like there is level 5 vegan is like, you know, researching RSS feed, discords, joining protests and stuff like that. I've got no ill will towards you know, my ilk, you know, our tummies thank each other, obviously.
Mm.
But the other part of that is also that like you know, like if I hear like one of the reasons I cut out soy, which you asked me about earlier, was that well, in a very linear sense, soy, you know, to harvest a
It kills
soybean,
your
you have to
testosterone, bro.
well, you kill the soy plant, right? You kill the soy plant, and so it's a different type of farming. It's not as sustainable or renewable as other vegan foods. It might be harm producing. It's hard to see how it's not. And so I don't not eat soy, but I don't intentionally go out and buy tofu anymore. You know, I've got maybe a small thing of soybeans a couple times a year,
Interesting.
all that kind of stuff.
I don't eat any of that. I eat meat. As a matter of fact, I'm going to drive by. I'm going to drive by the farm where this year's cow is being raised, and I'm going to wave at him when I go by.
Is it like a fancy class, like a wagyu
No,
cow, or
no,
just like
no.
a
It's just
normal grid cow,
regular
something
old
like that?
cow.
You know, I get my beef from Tennessee too, Grid.
Do you?
Yeah, me and my mom and my brother split a cow every once in a while.
Yeah, half a cow's a lot of meat.
Yeah, we split a whole cow. We got several freezers.
Yeah.
That's really nice. That's really nice of you guys to, you know, my dad, he hunted when I was a kid, and when he started
Yeah.
hunting again, he bought one of those big freezers, so we would have summer sausage or, you know, just like
Mhm.
elk fillets and stuff, in our freezer, which was really cool.
Dad sounds like a
Yeah.
hell of a guy. What happened to you?
My dad is a hell of a guy, man. He's a great Polak redneck.
Perfect. What
Yeah.
happened?
You know, I think, you know, no offense, but I think it was autism. I think the autism got me. I got my vaccines and stuff. Sorry, YouTube. I got I got vaccinated. Um,
You didn't say which vaccine.
uh,
It's okay.
no, no, you know, it was just how I was. You know, when I grew up. You know, I always had a small group of like 3 or 4 close friends. You know, like I knew everyone in high school. I knew people in high school. I knew people and stuff like that. But like, I never had that sort of, you know, the gift of gab that like built relationships. I never understood that stuff.
Yeah.
So my dad had no shot with me. Is the long and the short of it.
Mm.
So you're saying you were a weirdo?
No idea.
Anson Knowles coming in from left field with a giant haymaker. Kissy Cat, welcome to the show. Good to see you up here.
Thanks, Grid. I was just gonna join to fuss at Anson. He had me all pissed off in the chat, and he was playing devil's advocate. So
Yeah. Well, you can smack him around later if you want.
Yeah, it's real easy to get a woman all frilled up like that, get her panties all in a
Get
twist.
her bowed up. Get her.
well,
Yeah.
I never you're a wild card, Anson. I never really know what your stance is going to be on something. So
Well,
I'm to the right of everyone on every panel you've ever been on.
he is what we call a contrarian, which means that he considers me a leftist, which is weird. But so that should give you the first clue.
well, I just never know where he's going to stand.
Yeah,
So that's why it was believable to me. So I was like, this son of a bitch.
Anson, you son of a bitch.
And that's just the level of respect on these panels too. Is that Kat's in chat? She's giving her hard-earned money, and Anson steps into it. You know? Yes.
That's funny. Yeah.
Hey, Orthodox guy, if you're having trouble with your mic, you might want to try, if you're on your phone, getting on through Chrome instead of whatever browser you're using.
It could be. Yeah. Are you there, Orthodox guy? Wave if you're there. Let me help you out there, man. So what you're going to do is you're going to go down to where it's the little microphone looking thing, and there's a little tiny arrow beside it. You click that, and you go up, and you make sure that your mic that you want to use is selected, and also your sound output is selected. It's a weird thing. It catches a lot of people out. So try that. So anyway, Kissy Cat, I hope you're doing well. I know that you've been going through some stuff lately. We've talked a little bit, but
well, this weekend my dog got really sick, so he's in the ICU at the vet school hospital right now.
Oh,
yeah. So got a lot going on, just stressed and sad.
One of the 11 dogs, right?
Yeah.
But the main dog.
Pretty much. I mean, he's already partially paralyzed, but this weekend he took a.
I saw you say something about that in chat somewhere.
He took a turn for the worse this weekend, and not really sure what's going on or what the outcome's going to be. They've done a bunch of testing, and they're sending some tests off to a specialized lab in California, and just waiting for results and to find out what's going on.
Yeah. I changed Anson's screen name for you.
Some bitch.
Yeah, there you go. Oh wait, I didn't say it in a West Virginia accent.
Well, I can't stay long. I'm feeding my sheep. I just wanted to hop up and tell.
What do you feed your sheep?
So I have special grain mixed for them that's coated in molasses. It's like crack for sheep. They love it.
Oh yeah, molasses especially. Is it sorghum or just like black molasses? What is it?
It's just molasses, and it has like a certain percentage of protein and fat, and then grain. They love it.
Yeah, of course they do. Why would they not? I fixed that. Did I say that in a West Virginia accent?
That's perfect.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. Well,
I gotta get back. I gotta get back in the barn. I just wanted to let Anson know he got me.
Yeah, that's well, you've been here just long enough for your accent to literally turn all of the men in chat into I guess, angry gorillas fighting each other. I don't know, something.
Send in some super chats to Grid.
Yes, please do that.
All right. Goodbye, y'all. I'll be in chat.
Okay.
See you, Kat. Good to
You
see
know
you,
I'm not going to
Rose.
be here all next
Have a
week,
good one.
right?
What are we gonna do without you, Grid?
Save your money.
Yeah, I'll be a little richer next week.
There you go.
I'll need it because my vet bill is over 8,000 already.
Yikes.
Uh,
That's a
Make
yikes.
sure you start earmarking money on Grid's panel for ducks so I can buy a condenser mic. No,
There you
I'm fucking. I'm not gonna do that, but
All
just
right.
figured I'd grift as well. See you, Kat.
Thanks for having me up, y'all. Bye.
Good night. Or no, stay in the chat, Kissy Cat. But
I'm going to. I am.
feeding your sheeps. So yeah. All right. So you okay, some bitch?
Yeah, some bitch gonna get on here and say I
Some
want
bitch.
stuff he don't mean. Nerve that some bitch get on here.
It's awesome.
Treat that lady all wrong like
She
that.
literally called you some bitch.
Yeah, I'm some bitch. I've been some bitch my whole life.
Hey, Grid,
Apparently, that's probably true.
I'm gonna take off. Maybe the Juju will let Orthodox guy fix his mic. I'm just
Oh,
gonna
good.
hang out in the
Yeah,
audience
maybe.
or whatever.
That's
I'll talk
okay.
about queer heterosexual stuff with people if they're
Yeah.
curious. But
That's a bunch of nonsense right there.
Anson's got that Western accent going on. He's tired of his Alabamian accent. So, all right.
Happy Bammy and all this. Oh shit. Well,
Yep. We
all
didn't
right, well,
ban you. You're still here. You're still here. We can't
yeah.
go. Yeah.
Thanks for having me up. Bye. Bye.
All right, man. See you, Duck. We still see you, Duck. Oh, that's awesome. So, what's up, Ben? I see you up there.
Ben's here, really?
Yeah, Ben's here. Critical Lens.
Critical Lens has been. Oh, look at that! I'll be damned.
Yeah. So, it's gonna be really good while I'm gone. I assume. So you guys can chill out and.
Yeah, you should give me the keys, Grid. I'll host the show on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Orthodox guy, you with us? You with us? I don't know how to help him. I want to, but can't help. So.
Yeah, I think that Orthodox guy's all mixed up. He needs to not use whatever it is he's using and use something different.
Orthodox guy,
you got to jiggle the handle, man.
If you're don't listen to Anson. If you're working on the like, just click on the where it says mute and it has the sound thing. Next to it, there's a little arrow looking thing. Click that, and then select your microphone, and it should work. Where is Beth? I actually need to send Beth her winnings, which I'm not supposed to say, but that's okay.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like I'm gonna change up how I judge, either that or like I want to be in the pack and actually debate. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
I think we're gonna have to start doing some rotations because Tyler was like, I absolutely want to be in the debate sometimes, and then sometimes he wants to judge. So we're gonna have to do like a rotation.
Well, that's a good idea because like I have a specific set of things that I use as my metrics for judging, and if you have the same judges on there and the same people in the debates, they're going to prefer specific people debating because they tick off the boxes that the judges are looking for. And that's a problem if you want to have different people winning. Either that or I'll have to change up what I score on, which is possible. I can do that easily. But that's something that you ought to consider if you're having the same people on and the same people judging.
It was working on the pardon me. It was working on the test and not the panel. Yeah, I don't know. Are you Orthodox guy, are you? How are you? Are you on like Chrome? Because I use Chrome, but Windows works as well. Use Brave and Chrome. Brave, I don't know. I haven't tried it, but it works fine on Chrome for me.
I had just to change the subject from the technical difficulties. I had Angry Casper on my show with Beth on Monday.
Yeah,
and he got really upset because we were
spurred
questioning his black pill worldview.
Yeah, did he spaz or did he spur? Because he has two distinct modes.
Well, he started out respectful, and open, and then he started spazzing.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times I think when people mean, they say spurging when they mean spazzing. So
some people just can't handle their worldview being questioned without becoming emotional.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So we're getting I mean, it's pretty much time for me to call it a night. Yes, guys, listen up.
ZT Den donated $50. Super chat. Happy vacation and stay safe. Did you hear about the latest news out of DC Grid?
I just saw you say that, ZD Dan. I just saw you talk about like a shooting at a museum or something. I hadn't had time to look it up because I don't usually do a bunch of typing while I'm on the air. But I'm going to go inside. Well, I'm about to end the show, and we'll go look at it. Does anybody have any details they want to share? Anson, you know anything about it?
No, I can look up Diddley's OF handle if you want those details. But
I do not want those.
I don't really have anything to offer right now.
Why would I want? That's the opposite. Opposite of what I want. I see Grumple Stillskin has made it in the house along with Jake Varr. Project VO Pod. Jake, you had a great. You've had some great shows lately, man. You should have come up. We were talking about you and Fatty earlier. Yeah.
About how Fatty
come up, VO Pod. Let me help you out.
Fatty can't debate.
Somebody needs to be a friend. That's all I'm saying. Somebody needs to be a friend. The best friend you can be is when somebody keeps thinking that they can debate and they cannot. You go to them, you look them straight in the eyes, and you say, "You some bitch, you can't debate."
Think about the kind of friends Fatty has, though, right? Like if he's like the apex of his friend group, like just imagine what that friend group looks like.
Post the link for panel nubs. No, I don't usually do that. So the reason that I use the Discord the way I use it is because very specifically I want to control very tightly who comes up on the show. Not because I've actually had that many problems, but can't take the risk. All right, VOPod. I sent you a link, but if you're in bed, passed out, asleep, that's cool. I'm about to go to bed myself. I got to get up early tomorrow. I got a huge day. A lot of things to do. Got to go to the range, do some shooting with my kid twice. I got to do that twice tomorrow.
Yeah, Patriot Government TV. Is that Duck?
That's a Duck.
Duck, look, I'm not gay, all right? I considered that when I was like 17 years old. I thought about it for a long time, and decided that wasn't me. So I've already, kind of, decided that that's not who I am, man. So, thanks, but no thanks, man.
Yeah, Naomi is right. I I probably do need to go engage in adult activities with my wife. I do that occasionally, more than occasionally. Yeah. Yeah, Kissy Cat's from West Virginia. So West Virginia. And Tennessee. She sounds straight up like Mississippi, though, but like River Basin, but and whatever. A lot of southern draws on this show, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was whatever. Yeah, I can't help where I was born, Grid. And you got like a fake southern accent because you're in Tennessee, and that's not really a southern state. It's too
Tennessee is
far
the
north.
only true southern state.
It's too far north.
Well, it's getting there for sure. What's up, Trippy Cast? I see you're back in here. He had a 92,000 YouTube channel show up in my chat today, and the guy makes leftist animated videos. I'm gonna have to hurt his feelings soon. Oh man, that's awesome. You know, I actually need some video assets made, Trippy Cast. Maybe I can get you to do some work for me.
Oh man, his videos are all animated. Like I don't know how he does what he does, but it's really freaking awesome, Grid.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work with Trippy Cast a little bit because I need some video assets for my debate show. So now that you have my Discord, just shoot me a message. So, and to all of you guys, go over to Trippy Cast and sub up. Why wouldn't you? It's free, and he's funny.
Yeah, that dude's hilarious. He does real comedy.
Yeah.
It's like watching Space Ghost Coast to Coast, only with ugly clowns.
True. If you, I think you are. I don't know if you are or not. If you're not, I'll send you an invite right now. Let me grab that again. I thought he was in the. He was. There you go, Trippy Cast. There's the link to the Discord. So just go over there and join up, man.
Are you about to get people off your lawn, Grid?
Yeah. I gotta get up early in the morning, guys. Hey, it's been a great show tonight. Kind of went pretty much the direction I wanted to with the diddly stuff, and Anson played the perfect contrarian as always. The one very consistent thing about Anson is that whatever I say, he's going to say the opposite of, at least in the beginning of the show. So it's gonna be cool. Trippycast, good to see you. Thanks for it was Trippycast sub to my channel today. I got to go sub to his. On your way out, guys, do remember to we post these channels in the chat throughout the night. We post these links because these are channels, these are people that have come on my show. We see them in the chat. They come over here, they hang out, and we want to help them out. So if you see the link, click it and go over there, give them a like, give them a sub, help them out. And a rising tide lifts all boats. And so let's float away, motherfuckers. At any rate, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of night again, and I do not have anywhere to send you. So what's going to happen is I'm going to end the stream, and you're going to go on about your way. I hope you find somewhere pleasant to land. I think the Powder Dusty may be up, but I don't know. In the meantime, as always, be cool. Wear glasses if you need them, because those are important. And get the fuck off my lawn. And good night.